Well, that was really weird. The music sped up, and then we were back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Thursday of Reconnected. I am excited to be here with Mr. Chris Stachiw. Been a few months. How you been, sir?
I'm okay. Was that a question?
Yes. How have you been, sir?
Oh, man. You should ask people who have had less things happen in their lives that question. What's it like just being normal? Do you think normal people have had like a normal 9 months that didn't feel like 9 years? Is this thing on?
Can you hear me? I can hear you just fine, yes.
Okay.
On the bright side, I do think a lot of us are just kind of suspended in time, and it feels like at least the last 6 months and 1 or 2 days have felt like they've been, we'll say, marginally, exceptionally longer than normal.
Marginally, exceptionally larger.
Yes, that was the best way to say that. I ran through 5 different workshops in my mind, and that's what I came up with.
The workshops of the mind. That's where we go.
We're not doing that impression
Mind workshops, Ryan. You're coming up with the stupid fucking phrases this time, not me. I'm just sitting here. I'm not even doing anything. I don't even understand. I'm just part of. I was just invited here to sit and talk about physically released films.
On that note, you just spent a lot of time. I was going to say a week, but it was longer than that. Out to sea. What'd you get to go do?
Out to sea?
Yeah, you were on water.
Yeah, that's you were on, not walking on it, as though you might think otherwise. No, I had a good time on a Disney cruise. It was fun. I hadn't been on a cruise since 2013. 2025 has been like the last month has been a pretty good year. I went to San Diego, hit up some pretty cool places. I'm a bit of a sports card guy person. The fingernail polish doesn't give it away.
Is that a thing?
I mean, you call me whatever the hell you like. Just, don't call me mean names. Got to go to some sports cards, got to pick up some wild stuff, opened up some interesting things. I told you about this, but I found this is a Smokey the Bear card. Look at that. Smokey the Bear, folks. And look at this. Smokey the Bear card is also a 50, 38 of 100. So Smokey's a rare Smokey, as they would say. And only he can prevent forest fires. I believe both of those places in San Diego were the Supreme Card Shop and Honey Hole Collectibles, which, okay, all right. Well, it's the West Coast, everybody. West Coast elites. It was, I'll tell you, I don't want to pimp Disney because they ain't paying for a damn thing that we're doing, because if they were.
Or anything ever.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, they're not paying us for anything, but boy, we're giving them everything. Disney cruises are a lot of fun, and I think in terms of being able to afford a more personalized Disney experience, that's probably the way to go, given the theme parks aren't getting any cheaper, and if anything, they're just getting more expensive, which is fine if you can afford to do that, which I don't know how many people can afford to go to Disneyland for 5 days anymore without just being like, I've mortgaged my home to go see the mouse.
And my neighbors.
He's always watching. So I look, whatever. At the end of the day, I think for me, a cruise is a lot of fun. I got to relax. Funny enough, because this is a YouTube thing, I actually ran into a YouTuber who I've been watching for like 5 years on the boat. Shout out to Brian Zane over at Wrestling with Regret, who does this thing full time and has a pretty big following. And I was just sitting on the boat having a cup of coffee with a friend of mine, and he just walked by, and because of course this is what you do when you see a YouTuber, called his name out, and he stopped like someone was, looking to serve him papers, and had a nice conversation with him. He's a very nice guy. Sometimes they say never meet your heroes, but getting to share with a content creator who got me through some pretty dark times recently, that their content did in fact help me get through dark times, and seeing them kind of react to that was nice. So I can say yes. Since the last time I was on here, I have gone and been tanned and had a mouse chase after me. I will tell you the funniest thing that happened on the Disney cruise. My friend and I get into this elevator, and there's 2 people standing in the elevator, like probably in their mid-40s. And I look at this guy without missing a beat, and I was like, did you guys hear? Did you hear? There's on 2 decks above us, they saw this giant mouse walking around on board. And the look on the people's faces, and I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." His name's Mickey, and they were just like, "Ah!" And I was like, "Wow!" Like, how did I get people? I mean, how did I get? And it was like fucking Ghostbusters. Like, oh, a big hell of a cockroach. Like, what do you think? There's a giant mouse. I mean, there is a giant mouse. See, Disney cruises are the only cruise where mice are allowed to walk around on board, and people are applauding it and looking to take their pictures. Normally on Princess or Norwegian cruises, that is not part of the experience. You just get that. You just get to be part of that just because.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Point. Yeah. I still don't know.
Point, he says.
I still don't know if I would take a cruise myself, but hey.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look at that. Spaghetti says Brian Zane walked by and then proceeded to review WCW Great American Bash 97.
Okay. So somebody else knows what I'm talking about. I actually have a picture. I got a picture with Brian. He was like, "You want my picture with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Like, I kind of wanted to just sit and talk shop with you, but sure. Like, that was the weirdest part. It was like, I didn't honestly stand up and say hi to you because I wanted to get a picture with you. But yeah, I'm glad somebody knew who I was talking about. Thank you.
It's been a crazy week over here. Super busy.
You're leaving to go have a good time on your own. You're going to go have a
doing
West
a Disney
Coast
thing
experience.
myself.
Yeah, West Coast experience.
I'm taking the family to California for the first time. My kids have never been on a plane, never seen the ocean, never been to Disneyland. There's a couple other
probably do without.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's going to be a few things that they've never done before, and this is the most what is the best way to say this? This is the most like cost-effective, frugal way to take a trip I could have ever imagined. With the only reason we got to do this is because I had like 8-year-old Southwest Airlines vouchers that I got from a Google thing like 8 years ago. That paid for most of our flights. I got a super good deal on the rental car. A friend of a friend, Alex, who watches the show quite often, he got a friend to do a employee discount, which helped a little bit with the Disney stuff. And then my aunt and uncle are letting us stay with them.
Just a little.
At
the end of the day, the mouse always gets his cheese.
Oh, lots of cheese.
Lots of cheese. You could buy a lot of cheese with that money.
Or one really expensive wheel. So this is...
But just think how many steaks you could cook inside of that wheel. I've seen what people do on TikTok with those giant wheels of cheese. You could open up your own restaurant and just cook pasta in it for people. Ryan Verrill's Roaming Pasta Mania. I think that name's probably taken.
Yeah, I just checked. It is copyrighted
by Hulk Hogan of all people. Shockingly.
What's going on, Jeremy? Jeremy's here. That's pretty weird.
Hey, he puts the long in Jeremy. That one.
Over the last week, we put up a Criterion Closet video with Jeremy Long. Go check that out. That was a fun one. But yeah, been gearing up for this trip and working my tail off to get everything wrapped up so I don't have to do too much while I'm gone, even though I know I'm going to end up having to do certain things undoubtedly. It's kind of inevitable. I'm stoked for it. Pickups. I know that you don't do a lot of physical media stuff. Anything recently got in that you want to share other than a Smokey the Bear card?
A singular Smokey the Bear card? Trying to think. No, because I was on vacation, I did not get a chance to pick up anything. However, I did get to watch the new Thunderbolts movie on the cruise, so I don't know what that counts for, if anything, other than having to dodge paying $20 for a ticket.
I didn't know that was a thing that like, because the movie premiered the same night that you watched it. So
right. I watched it at 10:45 on the boat in, I guess would be San Diego time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was weird. I mean, there was even like a little David Harbour, like, "Hey, every Disney cruise people," like, okay, he's the pimp in that movie. He's pimping it real hard. I don't know.
It'd be really weird if David Harbour just happened to be on the boat.
I was half expecting him to just show up, like, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't know we were, like, in San Diego, like an hour from the coast to San Diego. If David Harbour just showed up dressed as the Red Guardian, I kind of wouldn't put it past Disney at this point.
Except he'd be as he is in the early part of the movie, so it'd be all ragged and stuff.
Yeah. That's right. You saw it too. So there you go.
I did. We'll talk about that in just a moment under recent watches. I do have two things here that I wanted to give a little shout out to that I knew was coming, but I didn't expect to be here this quickly. Shout out to my friend Philip Jeffries, who's in Canada. Quite a few of you may know his name. He was doing YouTube on and off. He did a really great visual essay last year on the music of Suspiria that was released by Imprint. And speaking of Imprint, Philip sent me 2 Imprint releases. This Convoy 4K box set that I did not get a chance to get. Never seen this one. I have dug all of the Sam Peckinpah stuff I've seen so far, so I'm super ready for this. But the one I'm more excited about...
Good song.
I've also never seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And this will be my first time watch. 4K, nice lenticular cover on the box set here. It's a hard box release, got a little... booklet on the side. I think there's a poster in here. Very eager to see this. I am excited to see what everybody else thinks. If I remember right, I think Craig from Deaf Crocodile said it's one of his favorites. So super excited to see that soon.
I like that one of the hobbies and things that you love are keeping words like lenticular alive, because nobody uses that word enough anymore. Lenticular. All right. Lenticular.
It almost died in the 90s. Yeah,
it did.
So recent watches, Thunderbolts. What do you think of it?
So everybody knows at this point what the actual title of the movie is, which is weird to me that they spoiled it. I think when I saw it, I assumed that that's what it was going to be, just based on the kind of caginess surrounding the advertising for the movie.
Yeah.
To speak to the caginess of the advertising for the movie was weird. Disney / Marvel / any of those big kind of production houses now, like, they really can't help themselves in spoiling big things. Like, there's one big thing that they have in the movie, and like, if you know anything about the rest of the movies coming this summer, you know what you're like. You know what they're going to be giving you, essentially. All that to say, they didn't pull a Red Hulk and ruin the big twist of the movie. Not that there really is one, but there are some smaller twists, I think. I enjoyed it. I think it's been received rather well. I think in terms of the last 3 Marvel movies that came before it, it's the best of the 3. And look, I think my only big complaint, and I think this is the thing that when you and I talked earlier in the week, this is what we kind of circled back to, was we know that they're hitting like a big reset button in like 2 years. Why not just go? They still aren't going for it enough. And that's always been a complaint that I've had with Marvel, is you're going to hire genre filmmakers and not let genre filmmakers do their thing. You're going to kind of always kneecap them. Like you get 2/3 of the way there and you're like, all right, well, you got good enough. But like, modern common audiences can't take a real Marvel horror movie. Like, come on, right. Really? Like, I find that sentiment hard to believe in 2025. I hope that post Robert Downey Jr.'s Doomsday and everything, they get a better sense of like, we could just do wild shit and nobody cares and people just show up just to show up and we don't have to hew to every preconceived tradition. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was fun. And Florence Pugh's great. Obviously, that's, she was the reason I watched it, because she's just Midsummer. I mean, she's great. Like, I'm gonna show up for Florence Pugh. Like, hello, darling, or whatever the hell that movie. I watched it only because she was in it. Like, trust me, there's not much reason else to watch it. So,
I mean, Olivia Wilde isn't bad.
Nah, but Florence Pugh, I mean, like, she's great. Like,
she's enough all by herself, for sure.
Yeah. So what about you? What did you think of Thunderbolts ***? Did
you say Doomsday? Mean Doctor Doom?
The name of the movie is Doomsday. It's Avengers Doomsday.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Avengers Doomsday, the film that comes out next year, directed by the Russo brothers.
Subtitle was Doomsday.
Yeah, the subtitle is Doomsday, all one word. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, now if you search Avengers Doomsday, it won't show DC anymore. Ha ha! Ha ha! The SEO always wins. Yeah, the mouse is always right.
So, yeah, I mean, it was good. Florence Pugh kind of stole the show. She was really great. Obviously, through the marketing, they did sort of spoil something. You and I talked about that, but without that, even it wouldn't like have elevated it much further than it was. Obviously, I am sort of glad that we felt like this was I won't say like a full course correction, but we at least got back online from the last few that were not great. This felt like it was trying to be Captain America: Civil War, and it still didn't reach that height. But at least it was on that level and not like the newest Ant-Man movie, which was atrocious. The new
wow, that Ant-Man, that's punching down, Ryan. That's so punching down. I love that. It is punching down. That movie kind of deserves it, but it also came out during the pandemic, and then the main villain.
But so did Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi is way better than the Ant-Man movie.
The main villain in that movie didn't get recast because he's not a great person. Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was good. It's just, I don't know. So much of it has lost its luster, and I know that we're not going to, say anything brand new on that front, but the MCU is just tired at this point. There's so much that has fallen away in a way that is not even fun. Like you said, it could have gotten very silly, and it just plain
or super dark or super serious or made any it's that that we talk about the term commit to the bit a lot. They don't commit to the bit, and Marvel never has, and that's that's the Joss Whedon effect. Like Joss Whedon always pulled back at the last second and told a joke, haha, like okay, like that was always the thing, because they don't think that for whatever reason the audience cares. And the problem is now, because you've assumed that for so long, that has not been the case for a while. I agree they should have taken a pause after Endgame. They should have done after Endgame what they're doing now, which is reboot everything. Again, what the Russos are doing and what is like the pre-production art and all the concept art that they leaked. Like, I don't know what in God's name they're building at, unless they're resetting everything, and they've more or less made that clear with Doomsday and then Battle World being the next movie. These are things that have already been announced. I'm not spoiling anything that hasn't been announced like a year ago. Look, I think it needs a hard reset, and I think the multiverse stuff allows for that. Star Wars, instead of resetting, just kind of really pulled the brakes on everything and stopped saturating the brand everywhere. And look what Andor is doing right now in terms of like being critically acclaimed and like the best thing that's ever been Star Wars of Star Wars. Like Marvel, I think, just needs to pump the brakes a little bit. But Thunderbolts was good. Like, it's just unfortunate. It's such a fun movie that 5 years ago we would have been like, this movie's amazing, coming late in the cycle too. So,
so that was that. I watched another movie on Monday that it feels like it was 2 weeks ago, and I can't even remember what it was at this point. And it's not Letterboxd, so I'm screwed.
Wow. I was gonna say I've actually been watching a fair amount of things. I watched Macbeth with David Tennant, which was really good.
I've heard it was great.
Yeah, it's very minimalist, very fun. If you're into Macbeth, which, look, if you don't know the source material and the source text, probably just read about it before you watch something like this, because they're not doing any. Yeah, again, there ain't no hand holding here. Like, they just go. I'm a huge fan of stage on screen, especially when it's something done like this with like an intention to be filmed and then put out for people to see. So, and I love David Tennant as a Doctor Who fan. Oh, by the way, Comic-Con Museum in San Diego is a thing, and they have a Doctor Who exhibit. So
museum,
Comic-Con Museum, right? I didn't know it was a thing either. Right. Yeah. It's not where it needs to be yet. They don't have enough like funds. So if you want to go and donate to help them, or go visit if you live in San Diego, it's in Balboa Park. But right now they have the opening of the Doctor Who exhibit in San Diego. And they have all the suits of the doctors and a bunch of the props and stuff. But anytime David Tennant's in anything, I just like go watch it because of him, because of Doctor Who. So
he's made some interesting choices over the last decade. I've liked a lot of his like swerves that he's done.
Jessica Jones, David Tennant, he's a good actor. I mean, he's a good actor.
He was I think it was a Netflix distributed movie here. That movie, His House, I believe it was. He was the the landlord.
Interesting.
I think it was a couple of immigrants coming over from Africa, and they lost a child on the journey, and David Tennant was the one that was like the landlord overlooking this like street of essentially immigrant housing that they were living in because they were forced to, and then it had to go into like a dark turn that got into some mysticism. It was pretty great. Yeah.
Broadchurch. I don't know if you've seen Broadchurch or not.
Seen some of it, yeah.
Yeah, Fright Night, also another good one. That Fright Night movie is that Fright Night reboot was so much better than it has any right to be.
It's Colin Farrell. It's going to be good.
And Anton Yelchin, God,
yeah,
and David Tennant, and Toni Collette.
Yeah, it's a hell of a cast.
I know. What a God. Good God. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. Anything David Tennant, check it out. But if you're into Shakespeare and stuff like that, definitely track down some David Tennant as Macbeth, because he did Hamlet a couple years ago, which was also pretty great.
You finally watched Naked Lunch that I still haven't seen before? I
did. It was fun. Very Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So very much the making of the text. So I for anybody who is on the fence about seeing it, if you're a David Cronenberg fan or if you're a William S. Burroughs fan and you haven't gotten around to watching it, now check it out. Check it out now. It's definitely something where it's not for everybody, but if you're a Burroughs fan or a Cronenberg fan and you've been waiting to watch it, check it out. I think it's one worth reappraising. And definitely if you're a creative type, it also speaks to the yearning to create and the need to create. And hey, Naked Lunch has one of the funniest uses of the term Steely Dan. That's where the band's name comes from. Which, if you don't know what it's about, just go look it up. I'm not going to tell you on this stream. This stream's not that kind of stream, folks.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it could be. Oh yeah, I guess fair. I mean, again, I got all the flags back there, so they're just. Again, they're off to the side.
Any other recent watches?
Trying to think. Oh, yeah. The other thing I watched in the Disney cruise, and the Thunderbolts redeemed the watching experience. Snow White 2025.
Well, we're going to talk about that tonight as an announcement. You want to save it till then?
Do we have to? Do we have to talk about it at all?
I will say this is the first time in a long time that I've posted an announcement and seen like full-blown brawls in the comment section on pretty much every social media. Like, shout out Dustin Putman, who's in the chat tonight. The other day, he got told in response to what he said about Snow White. I don't remember what the first comment was, and then somebody at the end said, "Go eat a salad." On a Facebook comment. Not sure what that means. Not sure where that came from.
Wow.
Okay,
that's very aggressive.
Yeah.
That's mad aggressive, as they would say.
They would say that. Who's they?
I guess they might say that. I don't know who they are in this scenario. That's fair. Wow. Okay. I guess the only other thing I watched was when I was in San Diego, I watched some episodes of The Simpsons, which is always fun. And I rewatched Happy Gilmore because I know that the sequel is coming out soon. Still, I think the second best thing Richard Keel's ever been in. I think he has the best lines in that movie. Oh, good. You can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot.
That was not what I expected you to say there.
Oh, it's one of my favorite lines in the whole anything that Richard Keel does in Happy Gilmore is great. I like I think that's up there for my Adam Sandler like favorite things. That and Little Nicky and Waterboy are kind of the holy like trio, and then he shows up in a lot of stuff.
Cannot get into Little Nicky. Never been able to.
I love it. It's so good. It's such a weird movie. It's such a specific thing. Like, and I get it. Like, part of it is my name's Nicky. Like, I get that part of it is the fucking stupid voice and face that he does is just, it's annoying. But I don't know. Adam Sandler, he elevates everything that he's in, at least for a certain time and place, at least for, I think, a lot of us. You and I did The Wedding Singer very early on in our friendship. I'm definitely a big fan of those 90s Adam Sandler movies. So that's always Happy Gilmore is something I saw a lot. It's an easy rewatch. Now, am I excited for the sequel? I have no idea because it's like 30 years later. Like, why?
Although Chris has gone on and on about how much he loves Bulletproof, so that's nice.
Oh God, what? I've never even seen that movie. Is that the one? Is that an Adam Sandler? Is that the one with Damon Wayans?
Damon Wayans, yeah.
Why?
That's
God. Somebody was just like, Chat GPT, give me fake movies Give me movies that
So
sound
bad.
fake in retrospect.
Oh man.
Bulletproof,
So-
a buddy cop film starring Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. You know he's been acting too long when that was a thing. We've come full circle. God. Same guy who did Hubie's Halloween.
That's not a bad movie.
No, it's not. I'm just saying it's the same guy who did Hubie's Halloween. Same guy who did Hotel Transylvania. 1, 2, and 3. Maybe not 4, though.
I think he's done all of them because they are major cash cows.
Yeah, well, but I also think at this point, I think someone else does the voice now. I think is.
I don't think so, but I may be wrong.
I don't know. I mean, if Adam Sandler gets to show up in sandals and shorts.
Yeah, I mean, he probably did it from home. Let's be honest.
Yeah, happy to be happy, or whatever the fuck he does.
Didn't even have to wear those. Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
Again, Adam Sandler. Take him with the take him now with a grain of salt. But back in the day, that guy could not make a bad comedy. He couldn't. He had like hit after hit after hit for like a decade.
Well, speaking of hot takes, tonight we are doing a live episode of Film Foundations after this. That is our discussion. We've done this the last few times Chris has been on here. And tonight is going to be a very interesting one because we are doing the one and only oeuvre of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oeuvre. Wow. Big words from a big man. He's 6'7", 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Arnie or me?
Yes. I think you're both the same. Are you like this? You're taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm not sure how tall he is. That's a good question.
You're 6'5". I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3". So,
well, I am about as tall as his muscles are wide.
Oh, boy, that's true. I'm excited to talk Schwarzenegger. You and I both do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation, and I think it's really funny that we're going to have to do it live on camera because if you're going to do it, make sure people can see how ridiculous you look while doing it. That's why voice actors are voice actors. They don't want to be seen while they're making the noises that you think are funny. See?
Sivner looked it up. He's 6'2". Dick.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah. When he was in the ring opposite, I think it was like Triple H or Hogan or one of those dudes in SmackDown, he looked tiny. Like, hey, don't put that guy opposite the real dudes doing steroids now. Like, God,
yeah,
I'm excited.
Can't put him in the ring with Big Show.
No, God, no. God, no. No. I'm excited, though, because I haven't talked about Schwarzenegger stuff in a long time. I feel like because he hasn't been in a lot of stuff recently,
right?
He's kind of been not quiet, but like for a lot of us, Schwarzenegger was a big deal. And so I know people in the chat are probably like, oh, boy, they're going to be talking about stuff that we care about for once, as opposed to like talking about, I don't know, something we want specifically. Edgar Wright, yeah. All 5 things to talk about.
So talk about Schwarzenegger tonight, and one of the main reasons is because Schwarzenegger was, important for both of us growing up. We were at the right age for many of his movies to be hitting home video or seeing for the first time. He was at the point of popularity that, some of these were, stuff that our parents saw and now they wanted us to see now that we're 10 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
And many of these are, formidable titles for a lot of the people in chat, I'm sure. So it'll be interesting.
These are like best of the genre films. Like some
very
Jingle All the Way, obviously what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's a long-standing film. Totally.
I mean, I watch it every year.
The other thing, we are both at a point where we are going to talk about tonight that this is going to be the last Film Foundations for a while. We both are not necessarily at a crossroads, but making some changes where we have a little less time to put into this than we expected, and not wanting to let the 12 people that listen to it regularly down. Sorry, I didn't mean to sell ourselves short.
And just beats it to death while it's crawling on the ground,
17,
begging for life, and he just comes over and just goes, "Time to die. Goodbye. Say hi to the devil for me." Like, God damn, dude.
Chris and I
wrote down what we said. We had like this whole speech prepared that you wanted me to write. I wrote this whole thing. We're sitting here like, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, I'd like to announce, unfortunately, oh God, don't put me full screen. No, oh God, and this is how it starts. No, I'm kidding. We didn't have anything prepared. I mean, we had like a little thing prepared, but I think to Ryan's point, if you listen to Film Foundations, we have to take a pause because of the things in life that are taking precedent and are allowing us to have less free time. And this thing that Ryan does, Disconnected and Reconnected every week, is very important. And I know that the audience here agrees with me. The shade of full screen. Ryan only has 73 podcasts. Boy, I remember when my number was pre 3 digits. Oh, God. Having less time in your personal life and work life means you got to rebalance it. And we're not going to lie to you guys and be like, it's because we love Film Foundations. That would not be the case. Like, we do love Film Foundations. That's not the issue. The issue is we just don't have enough time. And we have other things we want to work on that we think might be a little bit better of a pivot as well. And, you know, we are not stopping collaborating, I think, is the more important thing. So we're going to continue to work on stuff. It may not be a podcast. It may not be a video podcast, but it'll be something collaborative between the two of us. And I think that that's, for at least for me, and I know for you, the more important part of this is continuing to work together. And it sucks, you know. I think for me, I started Film Foundations with you on a belief and a whim that I had never done YouTube before, and that was a thing to do. And now I come on your show as much as I can. I enjoy doing it. I'm thinking about doing my own YouTube stuff separate from everything else that I've done. And that's honestly because you and I did the YouTube thing together. So that for me, I think was, you know, a big part of why I want to do Film Foundations. I am sad we're having to suspend it for a while, if not the foreseeable future, ?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, it is just a pause. This could be back in 2 weeks. Who knows? Everything else that we're looking at could tumble and fall immediately. So we will.
If you're wondering what it's dependent on, God, don't make it so obvious. They're listening, Ryan.
Sorry, boss. I'll be back to work someday.
Yeah.
This is all kind of a toss-up right now, actually. So, yeah, we'll figure out some more of that in the future. But, yeah, this is going out with the big Austrian bang tonight. Don't look that up on Urban Dictionary. But
A big Austrian bang. Boy, why not? Why not? I mean, gross, but if you're into it, it's not gross at all. Like,
speaking of, there's going to be a lot of impressions during the film discussion tonight, so be prepared for that.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Are we ready to get through the announcements then, sir?
Let's do it. I'm here.
Let's do it then. Here we go. We started last week with Warner Archive, putting out a whole bunch of older films this month. We've got The Citadel from 1938. This one is...
Why did you say it that way?
I have to name like 80 films.
38. All right.
I'm reading a decree from the king. Give me a break.
Okay, my lord.
We got a couple classic shorts on this. We've got a cartoon as well. I love when they throw stuff on these discs and it's not just the film. So Warner Archive seem to be doing that more lately, which is kind of nice.
Classic shorts. Peter Dinklage, Warwick Davis, Kenny Baker.
Kenny Baker. What a pull.
I mean, you said classic. Don't even explain it. Let's just keep going.
That's where I'm going. And I totally forgot to say that last one. These are all coming on June 24th from Warner Archive. This next one is A Date with Judy. This is with Wallace Beery and Jane Powell. This one is going to have a brand new 4K scan of the original Nitrate Technicolor negative. This will also have some special features on it. We got classic Tom and Jerry cartoons, some shorts that are from MGM. We've got 2 audio-only episodes of A Date with Judy radio show. So yeah, again, they're just throwing a lot on these discs, which is kind of uncommon.
What's weird to me is how Warner Brothers is treating the cartoons everywhere else but here, because they don't seem to give a singular shit about the cartoons.
Not true on physical media.
I know, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about here on physical media. Like, everything, they're making it hard to get at. Yeah, I know what they're doing. Yeah. I'm just pointing out the reality of the situation, which is like, oh, great. All right. And don't make it available to anybody else anywhere else but here on physical media, which we control directly. And whatever, fine.
I'm happy with it.
I know you are.
Well, it should be available on streaming too. I'm not going to take that away.
I know it should be. How else are people going to see it?
Next one is The Enchanted Cottage from 1945. This is with Dorothy McGuire and Robert Young. Another one I have not seen, but 4K scans of the original nitrate negative again. And on this one, there's an audio-only Lux Radio Theater broadcast and then General Electric Theater. These are from 1945 and 1953. Also things that are likely not going to be archived many other places for the foreseeable future. So that's really damn cool.
I like the artwork.
Yeah. Classic posters on these look great. Next is Executive Suite from 1954, same date, June 24th. This is with William Holden, Barbara Stanwyck, a couple bigger names in this one. Of course, this is going to have some special features as well. We got a feature commentary by Oliver Stone on this one. Tom and Jerry cartoon Hiccup Pup, and then Pete Smith's specialty, Do Someone a Favor, adding all kinds of stuff to these discs that I was not really expecting at all. Gotta be honest.
I've loved that. I'm a Tom and Jerry stan from way back in the day. Tom and Jerry are my boys. So
Good
more
stuff.
Tom and Jerry, the better, baby.
I don't think we've talked about it. Did you see the Tom and Jerry movie with Chloe Grace Moretz? And Michael Pena from like 4 years ago?
Yeah.
It is so much better than it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen that first Smurfs movie? I kind of feel the same way about that first Smurfs movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of not terrible.
Yeah. And then they went downhill in those sequels. So I'm glad they didn't do another Tom and Jerry. Next up is Robert Mitchum.
I like Roger more, though.
His Kind of Woman from 1951. This one is going to also be a 4K scan of the original nitrate negative. This one has a feature commentary by Vivian Sobchak, which, again, many of these Warner Archive titles do not get commentaries. To see multiple commentaries in 1 month is kind of surprising.
It's wild.
Pretty rare.
Good for Warner, by the way. Like,
yeah.
I mean, again, like, I perceive Warner very poorly everywhere else but on their physical media because they don't care. Like, they take so much stuff off of streaming. Like, I don't get it. Like, guys, you're going to, or gals, or non-binary pals, like, whoever is in charge over there at HBO Max. I don't want to make any presumptuous statements, but I get the physical media part, but like there are people that will not buy physical media and you can't withhold this stuff because they want to watch it too. Like it's wild to me. It's because they're taking it all off of streaming, by the way. Like
and not putting it anywhere else. Like
no.
For some other titles, they're taking it off and licensing out. They're not doing anything with it, which is awful.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, hey, it's HBO and it's Warner Brothers and it's Discovery and it's all of that weird mix for you. So
yeah. Next one, the one that I know a lot of people have been after, 1961's Splendor in the Grass, a Kazan production. This one has a feature-length doc on here called The Director's Journey. I don't think I've seen this one, and I really need to. This is one that a lot of people were saying they were going to wait for a 4K. I'm sorry to say it got a 4K scan, but this is not getting a UHD anytime soon. Warner Archive, they've already said that they're not just going to be like upgrading stuff that's on Blu-ray. They're probably only going to put out maybe 2 or 3 4Ks a year. And for them to only be releasing this on Blu-ray now, you're not going to be seeing a 4K disc of this anytime soon. That's for sure. Have you seen this one? I'm going to bet no.
I have not. You'd bet correctly.
Natalie Wood, Warren Beatty, Pat Hingle, Audrey Christie. This is one that I've had on my way too long watch list for quite some time.
Natalie Wood.
So that is it for Warner Archive. Those were all coming on June 24th on Blu-ray. Next up, the movie that has only gotten about 817 releases on physical media.
Jesus, ain't that the truth? I own like 3 different versions of this movie, actually.
August 18th, over in the UK, a 4K steelbook of Blade Runner. Nothing new coming on this. It's not going to be a new scan. It's not going to be new extras, just in a steelbook. And, I mean, you've had the art that's on the back of this steelbook on the front. You've had the poster art elsewhere. I mean, okay. If you don't have Blade Runner and you love steelbooks, here you go. But other than that, this is kind of everywhere. Who doesn't have
Blade Runner at this point?
That's a good question.
I literally have the briefcase version of the movie. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, they've done more than one version. That's what's
good. Right. I guess I should preface it by saying I have the original briefcase then.
The VHSs. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
Is that a thing? I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably not.
It may have been, for all I know.
I would love it if they had a different briefcase version on every format.
Yeah, they should. How do you feel about Blade Runner?
Laserdisc?
Laser. That was the one. This was like
Laserdisc briefcase.
Yeah, boy. Then it really we're cooking with Crisco, baby. Do you like Blade Runner? We never talked about it.
I mean, I like it fine. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't view it as like this amazingly complex masterpiece that a lot of people do. I think that it's a really well-made movie, but it's not one that I'm like dying to watch once every 18 months or anything.
I think the complex masterpiece is Blade Runner 2049. I think that's the movie that's worth reappraisal. Blade Runner's fine. I think the is Deckard a replicant thing? Like, I don't care. Like, if that's what you care about, cool. But like, I mean, hey man, that's Ryan. Yeah, the original's fine, but I like the remake or reboot or requel. I like it more. I think it has much more of an interesting time with the world, and I think the original movie is as a classic. I like the second movie more.
Yeah, and it's again, I'm not taking.
No one here is pretending like the original's not a classic. We're not
it's great. It's obviously a piece of cinema history. It's just not one that I'm dying to watch.
What do we have to at the end of the day? What can we say about Blade Runner that hasn't been said before? Like, we are not going to be able to discount Blade Runner to anybody. Like, the stock of the movie's way too high. Come on, guys.
Yeah. I forgot that this is just a glut of re-releases of classic stuff that we've seen many
ain't times. That the truth?
So these are all the same date, all 4K steelbooks, all over in the UK. This one is Enter the Dragon from 1973. Same disc as before, so this isn't like a nice Arrow disc or anything like that. Ronnie, don't remind me. Ronnie says this is Shawshank all over again. Yeah, that hurts because I said Shawshank Redemption is overrated, and again,
I've never. Hey, you want it here? I've never even seen it, so there you go.
I do not comprehend. From 2000,
I don't want to watch Tom. I don't want to watch Tim Robbins. I don't want to watch Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. Neither of those actors jump out to me as someone that resonates with me. There's your answer.
Tim Robbins is a master.
I didn't say he wasn't. He just don't resonate with. I don't resonate with him. Sorry. Sometimes I don't know. God, jeez. They should just turn it off. We have opinions about. We have somewhat barely controversial opinions about movies that, once again, are so popular and well regarded and well esteemed that there's nothing we could say about these movies to degrade them or take away from them. But fine, you're right.
I'll just scroll through the classics then.
I know, right?
Silently judge.
What does anybody want from us? Yeah, you haven't seen Home Alone. Viewers numbers plummeting.
Vince, this is so specific. I don't like prison movies made after 1950. Oh my gosh,
can't argue with that logic.
It's such a specific call out.
I know. What is why? Can I ask why? Can we ask the audience why?
Okay, so Adam says no excuse, and I'm not a huge fan. And I agree there's no excuse here. And like I was going to say, from the year 1999 through, 2013, Shawshank Redemption was on TV 24/7. Most of those hours on TNT.
When did you say?
99 to like 2013, 2014.
Okay, well, I was 9. For part of that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then part of it I was in college. Like, I don't know. What do you want from me?
A lot.
People want me to validate their love of a movie, apparently, because the guy on the internet said so. You love the movie. That is the funny comment, right?
This is such a great comment.
Yeah, Timbits, baby. Timbits.
I may or may not have just screenshot of that, so I can possibly make some disconnected merch out of it. I'll contact you later, Tyler.
God, that is great. Christ
Tim
almighty.
Robbins is only second to Tim Hortons. It's so
Tim
funny.
Hose, baby. That's how you know that he's American, because he called it Tim Hortons. I believe any Canadian's card is taken away if they call it Tim Hortons. I believe it's called Tim Hose.
We have spent this much time and we're on like the 5th announcement. Let's
Good. That's fine.
V for Vendetta is the next 4K steelbook hitting on that same day. Good movie. It's a lot worse than Blade Runner and Shawshank Redemption. Does that help?
Can I make you mad, audience?
No.
Say I've never seen it.
I'm not shocked.
Shank
Next up,
Redemption.
have you seen The Goonies?
Yeah, once. Literally, I don't.
I've seen it more than once this year, and it's May.
You know, there are like literally every movie, but not the. There's plenty of movies that aren't the Goonies that you can watch. Literally everything else, but
I saw The Goonies this year in theaters.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep,
absolutely. I watched it once. It's fine. I didn't grow up on it. Like I know people that grew up on it. Just like I probably make somebody mad by saying Monster Squad's fine. Thank you. See, finally somebody else has come to their senses in the chat.
Jesus, well, you are on a roll tonight.
Silent Mandible, you need your own show. Goonin' friends, Goonin' Rangers, Goonies.
Oh man,
that movie made now would have such a different meaning.
Anyway,
yeah, but they'd be looking for things in caves though. It'd be spelunking. I mean, you know what I mean? Oh my God, it's so. Oh, they were looking.
I'm just amazed you have not said the term "one-eyed Willie."
Again, I've seen the movie once.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Sloth love chunk, right? Isn't that the line? I don't know. I haven't seen it once.
4K Steelbook of the Goonies coming out later.
Hey, that's Thanos.
Time.
That's in that movie. Isn't that fucking weird?
August 18th. That's not Thanos. That's the guy from No Country for Old Men.
Fair. Also fair.
Next up, Kino Lorber announced that coming soon is America 3000 from 1986, a movie that I had never heard of. And good Lord, when I saw this poster, did I go, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Kino Lorber, they're known for putting out literally anything, including
basically
Bigfoot and Friends. Go to the medieval festival. I don't know what this is.
Oh man. I'm not sure.
Nuke Adventure.
Anybody love America 3000?
We won't be around to see it, thank God.
I know this has some fans.
Hell yeah.
Coming soon on 4K from Kino is The Phantom. Billy Zane's The Phantom.
Billy Zane's The Phantom. Imagine if that had been the way it was built. People might have actually gone and seen it.
This movie is probably going to look really great on 4K. Not a stupendously written film. Really great cast, though. Yeah. Billy Zane, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Christy Swanson, Treat freaking Williams, James Remar. This will at least be fun.
I love these movies. I mean, you know what movie this also pairs well with? The Shadow. They're both in that same like pulp vein.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
both fall way short to Dick Tracy.
Well, I do see. I didn't mention Dick Tracy. You did. I'm not going to mention The Phantom and watch Dick Tracy together, and you'll realize very quickly which one is better.
Let's keep going. May 26th, Blu-ray in the UK from Shameless. We are getting Lucio Fulci's Contraband. This is the same one that was released by Cauldron fairly recently. And this one is going to have some interesting new things. We got a new interview with the star Fabio Testi that's on this. New visual essay by the one and only Stephen Thrower that is going to be speaking on this movie. Everything else we've seen on the other releases, but Contraband, pretty good movie.
I have never seen.
Yeah, most people have not.
I like Lucio Fulci a lot.
Sibner's saying, I'm sorry, but you grew up with The Shadow. Just because he said he grew up with it doesn't mean it came out when he was... and he watched it on a release date.
Yeah, like I don't know. I watch it when you know what? You want you want to know how nice. Mute yourself while you burp. I got your ass. I got to get you a laugh while we're on the show. By the way, funny secret. I'll jump into chat when I'm not on the show and try to get Ryan to laugh every now and then.
Not in chat.
Oh,
Chris private messages me on Discord trying to get me to laugh.
And sometimes I get him, but he's a lot better about corpsing, to use another term. The thing with The Shadow is my entry point to The Shadow was the pinball machine, which I played a lot as a kid. So, and then I watched the movie a lot. I like The Rocketeer as well and The Phantom. Good so they're all kind of in that, the triangle or whatever. That's not a triangle. This is a triangle. I know my shapes. God, boy.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oasis of Fear, also coming from Shameless. This one's coming on June 2nd on a Blu-ray over in the UK. This one, I believe, there's a world-exclusive unique interview with Ornella Muti on this one on being a teenage star. I don't think I've seen Oasis of Fear, and I know for a fact that Chris has not. And Chris is like, I've seen this 38 times. I grew up on it.
I was about to say, like, what does that mean? That language that they use, it's a unique interview. What does that
because a lot of releases will license special features from other companies.
Okay.
And so they're saying if you want this specific this specific interview, because Ornella Muti is a huge star, you'd have to buy this release.
Okay. Well, sure.
This is also known as An Ideal Place to Kill. This has been released here in the US on Blu-ray, but now it's coming over to the UK. Jack is here. He says he just watched the 2011 Muppets with my dad, who had never seen it. Adore the Muppets, and that movie is amazing. Saw it in theater on opening day.
I would say between the two of us, Ryan is more of the man and I'm more of the Muppet.
Yeah, that is quite true.
Then I think Dodson's the Muppety man. The East Coast elite, Will Dodson.
Oh
Muppety
my God.
Man.
That was a perfect shout.
You're welcome.
Perfect shout.
Where's he at, huh? What's he up to right now?
He's probably writing for me.
Got him.
July 8th on Blu-ray in the US comes this very Tubi-looking movie from Lionsgate called
ChatGPT presents
Shadow Force from this year, starring Kerry Washington, that I never heard of. But man, this poster does not sell it on me.
Well, why not?
Chris just ordered Oasis of Fear about an hour ago. Nice. This opened in theaters tonight.
Whoa, this movie did? Ryan, why are we not watching it in theaters?
I got to be honest, I'm kind of impressed that this went to a theater. This doesn't even feel like a theater movie.
In Shadow Force, Kaya and Isaac. What? God, no. Yeah, like
one man, one woman.
One man, one way. The name of the movie is bad.
Yeah,
it's awful. Bad. And also the name of the movie is bad. Just look at
the tagline with it, family over everything.
Also, the name of the movie is bad.
Okay, I didn't even read this closely the first time. In Shadow Force,
you're reading.
Were once the leaders of a multinational special forces group called Shadow Force. They broke the rules by falling in love. And in order to protect their son, they go underground. With a large bounty on their heads and the vengeful Shadow Force hot on their trail, one family's fight becomes an all-out war.
I like the comment, so cheap, like a C movie.
Family over everything. Craig says they've never met my family.
Family over and
Sibner says if Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but they have kids that already exist, it's Spy Kids.
That's also Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the TV show.
With Dong Lover, yeah.
You say Dong Lover?
Yeah, that was his. When Community was starting, that was Donald Glover's nickname was Dong Lover.
Oh, right.
Don Glover. Yeah.
Right.
Brendan says I've seen this. It's a masterpiece. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you have. Maybe you made the movie.
Speaking of masterpieces, this is actually pretty close. July 22nd, Kino is putting out a 4K of Danger Diabolic from 1968. This is a Mario Bava directed spy pulp thriller that is really impressive. Love this movie. The only thing it's rough, no new extras on this disc. I kind of wish they did something because this has gotten some handful of releases over the last 5 or 6 years, and this deserves something new. Although there are multiple commentaries on here, I wish they would have done just a little bit more.
I like the art. If the movie looks half as good as the art, I'll check it out.
You would like this movie, genuinely.
I don't like most movies, though. According to your audience, I don't like most movies. You think you can throw tomatoes at me? I'll throw it back at you. I'm just
Chris.
kidding.
I agree with you. Chris says sounds terrible, but I'm all for non-IP movies hitting theaters. Everything should hit theaters. I'm for it.
Yeah, if it hits the theaters and drags itself across the ground, there's nothing left. That's on it.
I was just saying in 2025, it's surprising that Lionsgate movie Shadow Force is getting a theatrical release.
Oh, now it's Lionsgate's fault. All right.
It is. It's well, not really. Honestly, it kind of all comes back to the mouse. It's more surprising that Disney is allowing it to have a theatrical release by how they push everything else out. Anyways.
Oh, right. They own Lionsgate now, right? Don't they?
No, I'm not saying they own Lionsgate. I'm saying, which I don't think they do, but I'm saying.
Don't they?
I don't think so. They own Fox is probably what you're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
They have requirements for how long their movies have to be.
Right.
And it pushes everybody else out.
Yeah. Hashtag New Avengers.
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Next. This is the next Kino Cult title coming on July 22nd in a Blu-ray. This is going to be number 33 in the Kino Cult line, and it is a nudie cutie triple feature from 1962 to 1964. It has Mr. Peter's Pets, it has Everybody Loves It, and it has 50,000 BC, and Chris has 19 comments. Ready, go.
I feel like now we can watch these movies as kind of like the fun lark that they are, but like, okay. Yeah. Weird, but all right. Whatever. It's
Next
weird.
up.
Like, I guarantee you that the people who made those movies, if they were like, this is getting a Blu-ray release, they'd be like, what?
In 2025.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, good. I mean, like, you know what? At the end of the day, though, to your audience's point, it's all good. It's all good. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and not everything gets a Blu-ray release. Like, literally. Even though plenty of things get a Blu-ray release, you and I could go back and forth lightning round style and come up with plenty of things that could use a Blu-ray release that don't have a Blu-ray or 4K release.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of stuff. There's still plenty of room. So, like for Exclusive coming out July 19th on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber.
July 15th.
I can't read.
Here. There we go.
I can see it now. Thank you.
From Kino on July 15th. This is from 1937 with Fred McMurray and Francis Farmer. And yeah, definitely not seen this. I know there's a lot of people that enjoy this type of film, and that's mostly not me.
Ryan, have you ever wanted to be a farmer?
Probably at some point.
There's a couple of acres. It's one of my favorite lines from Last Action Hero. You walked right into that one, bud.
I did. I truly did.
I love it. The look on your face, you weren't giving me the answer.
July 8th, we have something interesting happening. Kino, in partnership with Dark Force Entertainment, is putting out a 4K of Silent Scream from 1979. This is a movie that has been released multiple times before. Code Red, I think Scorpion did this one as well. But now, Dark Force, as a Kino Lorber partner, they are releasing this widely, and I'm kind of curious to see what's to come from this, because Kino and Dark Force have not worked together before, and Dark Force has been doing fairly well. I mean, they're choosing to put out some stuff on 4K, like The Fama.
The couple of acres. Yeah. It's great.
It was the callback. The movie's called The Farmer. It was perfect.
It is.
In fact, wow, I did not plan to do this, but I happen to have the Dark Force Farmer trading cards to be able to show off.
Hey, that's pretty cool, man. Oh boy.
So yeah, they're doing
5
that.
people that were watching is now down to 3.
3.5 somehow. Some of those classic shorts we're watching.
Oh, callback. This is why we're friends, folks, because Ryan loves a good callback.
And a pun. So yeah, this has all the extras that were on the previous release, including a commentary by Barbara Steele, which is nice, and a bunch of extras on that Blu-ray disc.
I mean, hey, terror is so sudden, there's no time to scream. It's great.
Chris, I did not buy the trading cards. They came free in a package from Dark Force. Literally, he is giving them away.
He paid enough.
They are giving them away.
They're giving them away. Why?
I never wanted those. I didn't know that I was getting them.
That's cool, dude. Wait, like, are they trading cards? What are they?
It's one Blu-ray label, created trading cards surrounding one film. I don't even know what's on them. I haven't opened the box yet.
Why? Okay. Open the box, bud.
What if
you
this
got
is
the
gonna
card?
be worth like
you got the card guy here.
I got the card guy. Okay, I have to do this. Okay,
right?
hold on. Let's.
You became Jerry Seinfeld all of a sudden. I gotta.
What do we do about trading?
Open the card. Open it. Open the card. Don't open it. Schrodinger's card. Wait, what does it say on the front? It says you could get a chase card.
Look for randomly inserted chase cards. No way.
Should we see how much it is before you? Oh, you already opened it.
I already
I'm
opened
just
it.
kidding. I'm just kidding. It's
And
funnier
then,
that way.
The box is labeled as 95 on the back.
It has Sharpie on it.
Oh my gosh.
Hell
So-
yeah. Is it really? Is it over the top?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, are there packs?
There are packs, but the top folds out to look like the Farmer Extended.
Hell
That's great.
yeah. Okay. How many packs are there?
Jesus. Okay, obviously I don't care about these much. So many. Way more than
There
expected.
could be a 1 of 1 in there.
That
Just
doesn't
like
mean
this
anything.
1 of 1 Hal Linden that I have, everybody. God.
How did you have that on hand?
Because
All right.
it's sitting in front of me on my desk. I look at Hal Linden every day. Look, it's a 1 of 1 Hal Linden. Not
So
great?
I'm gonna open one.
Go for
This
it.
is
All right.
like a genuine like wax pack type of
Yeah, that's
setup.
awesome. I'm so
And,
excited.
So it's a full blown sticker. The wax has to be ripped.
Ooh.
And opening it up. Okay,
Oh.
so that like there's a decent amount of cards in here.
Wow. Okay.
4 or 5.
Oh,
so
those
there
are like
six.
old school. They're like 80s cards too.
So 6 in each one. Here are the.
Here's what I'm thinking you should do with these cards. You have all these people in your audience who like getting free things from you. You should be using white gloves. He's right. You should just send these to your audience when you send them the things as Patreon. Because if you want these cards,
Literally
go to Patreon.
was going to happen.
Go to Patreon and subscribe to Ryan's Patreon. See, I'm doing this for free.
That's why I set it to the side because I don't care about them. They're going to be going to the Patreon.
Yeah. And maybe
so-
release like a YouTube video or a Patreon video of you opening the rest of them and then showing everybody what you got. Because here's the thing. There could be a good card in there, theoretically.
Yes.
Probably not.
Sibner, do not send me that shit. Oh, man.
He said don't.
So, for anybody that is huge
Committing
fans,
to the bit, not a fan.
whoever is a huge fan of Code Red, you can tell from this card that the back of the cards have artwork on them that they look like they make a larger image.
They do.
And this one is clearly the mouth of Banana Man, who used to be the owner of Code Red. So yeah, these will be going out as a part of the Patreon stuff. Thanks for spoiling it, Chris.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Somebody's going to get this open pack, and you're going to know that this was yours. So congratulations.
I mean, yeah, because you have to open all of them to make sure you take out the good card and don't send it to anybody.
I put it back, and now it looks like it wasn't even open. I'm going to send everybody all the cards. I'm not even going to open them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Fully random. You could get a chaser card in your pack.
A chaser. Who are we chasing?
Ronnie wants to know if
Is
you drink
Chris drinking
champagne.
champagne? Yes. Yes, I thank you for noticing. However, I'm drinking. Yeah, I because I saw it in my fridge and I was like, I spent like $10 on it at Total Wine. Again, not a sponsor. But I'm drinking. It's not a sponsor.
I love that you said again, like we've had like 7 Total Wine references
I
today.
don't know what we had. It's being drunk out of a King Kong from 1976 glass. Says on the back, straddling New York's twin trade towers. Ooh. The King Kong, the intrepid King Kong, faces his most relentless and awesome enemy, civilization. Good for you. Jeez Louise. Farmer cards.
This is so funny.
This is the greatest. Your audience is great. The wild. Oh, my Furby. I do have a Furby back there. Where is he? Yeah, hello, boys. I do have a Furby.
Hey, we're going to get back to the next announcement after the card opening.
To Judy Irving's The Wild Parrots of Telegraph Hill. You'll laugh, you'll cry, your
2003.
heart is guaranteed to soar. Washington Post paid to say that. You fuckers. There's no way that wasn't
Jeff
intentional.
Bezos still making money.
I know. God, good Lord.
This is coming on Blu-ray on July 15th. And yeah, from what I hear, this is a very wholesome documentary that I've not seen.
Says it's a classic. It says classic feel good.
New 4K restoration. I love me some animal docs. Are you an animal documentary person?
You remember Voyage of the Mimi? Does that count?
I don't even know what that is. That sounds like that somebody's telling a story around a campfire about their grandma.
The Voyage of the Mimi was a very early Ben Affleck thing that when I was in high school, they showed it to us in biology class.
I think that off-the-cuff joke deserved a little better than Ben Affleck, but okay.
Doesn't everything deserve better than Ben Affleck? I would watch this. You remember those nature documentaries in like the 70s? Jack Hanna? Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, Jack Hanna was good.
He's a fan, as Kendrick would say.
Colton says, Voyage of the Mimi sounds like a Mel Using title.
Go look it up and watch it. It's probably on YouTube in its entirety, but I had to watch it when I was in like grade school, and it had Ben Affleck in it, and it was like...
You had to watch it?
Yeah, it was like part of curriculum. We made
God,
like
Nebraska's weird. Oh, wait, you weren't in Nebraska then.
Texas, it's even worse. Wow. Besmirch the good name of Nebraska, why don't you? Everybody knows the N in Nebraska stands for knowledge. That's an old joke, apparently. I didn't make it up.
Wow.
I love the people here. I know people who live here are watching, which is why I don't want to get run out of town on a rail.
Next up, we are getting Kino is putting out Northern Lights from 1978 on July 22nd on Blu-ray. This is a brand new 4K restoration. This was pretty great from what I hear, and there's an audio commentary on this with some of the filmmakers, and then a trailer on this one. This is one I will probably at some point when this is $8 from Kino be checking out.
I was about to say, when are you going to watch it? At some point in the near never?
Yeah, when my kids have graduated and they are paying all of my bills. Yeah, soon.
Cool. Soon, he says.
July 15th, Kino is also releasing Blur to the End from 2024. This is about the band Blur. They also have a 127-minute concert film as an extra on this, which is kind of really cool that they're including that.
Yeah, Blur's fun. The band, they have that one song.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. Isn't Blur? No, Blur's not the same band with Hey Man, Nice Shot. No,
that's very much someone else.
This isn't a music podcast, but sure. Goddamn.
Oh, man.
Everybody's a comedian when the camera's on.
I'll turn mine off. Oh, that's right. Ronnie says that's Filter.
That is Filter. Good pull.
We are still going kind of with Kino Lorber because they are in charge of the distribution here. Cohen Media Group is putting out a release of Black Tea from 2024. This is coming on July 15th on Blu-ray. This is going to have a Berlin Film Festival press conference as an extra and the trailer. And Cohen Media Group, I like most of the stuff that they put out, and I am very happy to see more African films get releases, so I definitely want to check this out. However, I will say, I agree with everybody in the chat because I wish they would take this goddamn giant C off of all of their covers. It would be so much better without that bright red C surrounding this.
Brian, we don't say that. As soothing as a freshly brewed cup. Rachel Pronger. Indie Wire.
Why would they read the person's name and the publication?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you read that? Well, God, why wouldn't you read that? Isn't that the point? Like, if it was let me put it this way: as soothing as sipping a freshly brewed cup, some asshole on the internet that doesn't have the same ring as.
Okay, but
Rachel
normally you would say Rachel Pronger from IndieWire says X. It wouldn't be. It's not a book report.
Ryan is not
Pronger,
trying to. Ryan's saying X because he's not trying to pass the Bechdel test here. Got your ass.
I Bechdel to differ. Let's.
Always with the histrionics, dude. Always.
Gary agrees. He says, "Hell yes, never noticed it was a C." Yes, it is the Cohen Media C that is so gaudy on those covers.
Ooh, gaudy. Nice pull.
Next, July 8th, another Kino partner label, Raro Video, is putting out Terror Express from 1980 on Blu-ray. This one is going to have a new audio commentary by Rachel Nisbet, who does incredible work. They got an archival documentary on this called Tales from the Rails.
What a great
Why
name.
was that funny?
A film by Fernando Baldi. La ragazza del balcone letto.
There were so many syllables in that name.
That's the name. You see how many syllables are in that name.
True.
I can do it. My mom's Italian 100%. Hey, you gotta get with him. Hit him with the pause. Hey, man.
This is a weird night. Let's keep going.
This is the best night of all.
Hey,
5,
guess what?
8,
Kino
20.
Lorber is still releasing movies.
Is this the Keanu Reeves movie?
It is.
Keanu Reeves playing an Asian man.
July 22nd, they're putting out a 4K of Little Buddha from 1993. This was released in Australia by Imprint fairly recently. This has a brand new HDR and Dolby Vision Master so that you can see this Bertolucci film in bright, eye-blazing 4K. So how do you feel about this one there, Chris?
A sumptuous and epic story. Little Buddha. I saw this movie, I think, in high school. Why is Keanu Reeves playing Buddha again?
Not just Buddha, Little Buddha.
Yo, coming to the stage next is Little Buddha.
Lil Buddha.
Lil Buddha. Lil Buddha.
Another one of them classic
L apostrophe Buddha. B-U-D-D-A.
It would be B-O-O-T-A.
Buddha. Lil Buddha. Yeah, it'd be like ludicrous. Buddha.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
He's on the 50-yard lines with the Buddha kicking for 3. God.
Here we go. Imprint, we were just speaking about them. They are also putting out Jade on 4K. Vinegar Syndrome just released Jade on 4K this month. Hasn't even shipped to anybody yet, but Imprint wanted to give you all a heads up that they're doing it as well in Australia. Yeah, William Friedkin in 4K.
Billy Friedkin.
Oh, Billy Friedkin, yeah.
Some fantasies go too far.
Shake that little Buddha.
Shake that Buddha, shake that. Oh, it is a weird night. It's been a good night.
People listening to the podcast tomorrow would be like, what in the hell?
What in God's name? Well, Billy Friedkin, what did he always say? Go fuck a rolling donut, I believe is his phrase, not mine. I wish I could come up with something that funny.
Yeah.
Leave me. I thought that said give me glizzies. I was like, what in God's name?
Hey, the newest issue of the Physical Media Advocate is shipping now, and I wish I had one to show. I do not have it in hand yet, but this is a crazy issue. We have a lot of really great stuff in this. I am pretty damn proud of this. We have a brand new exclusive interview with Alex Ross Perry about his film Video Heaven. We've got a new comic. We've got a lot of stuff. Short little article on Stanley Kubrick and what we're missing on 4K. Love the cover on this. We normally have Planet Mondo, but this is a new one from Ron Winnick, who is a friend of Stan's. So thank you, Stan. Yeah, this is crazy. Dustin had this in hand in paperback 12 hours after it was announced. I was so jealous.
Nice.
Yeah, check that out. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at a bunch of physical media stores in the U.S. and even one in Canada. Amazon worldwide.
Keep missing my opportunity to write for these because,
Hey,
depression.
You've done it, what, 3 times? 2 times? Something like that?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, go.
Something like that. Yeah.
Start writing.
The movie that inspired a million undercuts, Fury. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Look at that haircut.
It's a nice haircut.
It is a nice haircut. It works for Brad Pitt's head.
Yeah, it's true. So does everything else. A lot of women. Anyways, July.
Golami. I had literally, when I was in Mexico, of someone taking a photograph go, Golami. And I was like, what is happening here?
Tyler says that go fuck a rolling donut reminds me of how one time my great grand aunt told my great grandfather, go shit up your back.
What does that even mean? I don't even get it. And I'm not even upset. Brad Pitt. God.
For those words are just syllables.
Brad Pitt, ... He's good looking, ... Gay pride flag, ...
Hey, July 15th, Brad Pitt and the film Fury are coming in a
Not
4K
Fury.
steelbook. That's a very different movie, and the undercut is much weirder there.
Lots of undercuts, lots of uncuts.
How do you feel about Fury?
Never seen it.
Really?
No. I just know what Brad Pitt's hair looks like.
I mean, this is a good movie. You should see Fury.
And remembrances on Fury. I remember what the hell was that? Somebody was talking about. I wrote the script based on my remembrances of the movie. What do you want? Drugs? And yes, what kind? I should watch it. I mean, it's a tank movie, right? Not a lot of those.
No, and it's a very well done tank movie, truly.
And it includes Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and John Bernthal. It is a movie that I think you would love.
Two people whose names were kicked around as possible topics for tonight's Film Foundations episode.
Literally. Siviner says, you're really shocked by Fury. I'm really shocked because Chris has seen a lot of the last 15 years worth of movies.
Yeah, dude, it's almost like I've been doing a movie podcast for a decade now. I don't know if you guys know this, but I only started watching movies when I did the podcast. That's how that works, right?
What if that was how it worked?
Boy, that would be wild, wouldn't it? It's not how it works, though. I can tell you, as someone who has 696 episodes of a movie podcast, if that were the way it worked, I can't watch movies the same way as I used to 10 years ago, but I've been watching movies since as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Just not Fury.
Fury is really great. Everybody should watch it. This is coming in a 4K Steelbook, and it is coming on July 15th. Next. Kurosawa's Ron is getting another UK release from Studio Canal.
Great film.
You've seen this one. Nice.
Yeah, I covered it on my show. Do your research, dude. There's Google. You could do that.
This is coming in a fancy 4K box set release with new writing, and it looks really nice. Not going to be a new scan of the film. I know some people were not excited about the way that it looked last time, but I know this is a lot of people's literally their favorite Kurosawa. And this looks to be probably the best release this is going to get, because Lionsgate had the first Steelbook that came out over here a couple of years ago. That was 4K. It stands nothing up against this release. So if this is your favorite, you might want to seek it out. And the best thing, this is available on Diabolic and Orbit and some of the other normal U.S. retailers.
It's my favorite Kurosawa film. It's a good one.
Good.
It's a great one. Good.
August, that says 5th, right? Yes, August 5th, Paramount releasing Sunset Boulevard on 4K. This is not coming to their Paramount Presents line, which a lot of people were surprised by, but it is coming to a regular 4K disc, and this is the 75th anniversary of Sunset Boulevard, and somehow I've still not seen this one. I certainly need to. Billy Wilder, kind of a pretty okay director from what I hear. Just kidding. I know he's amazing. Eager to see this one. I definitely need to see it.
Never seen it. Then you know what? I'm glad that you haven't seen it, because that means me not having seen it is less of an issue, apparently.
No, they're probably going to make fun of me.
Yeah, they right. They for as much as they love you, they'll turn on you in an instant.
Yep. Paramount again releasing a 4K of Better Off Dead on August 5th. Certainly do not love this poster art. I think this was similar to the DVD poster art. I wish they would have just used the original art, but yeah. I like this one. Have you seen this one? No.
Never seen it. I one of my favorite movies is a John Cusack film, High Fidelity.
I was about to say, are you a Cusack guy?
I'm a High Fidelity guy. I'm a High Fidelity girly, as my girlfriend would say. Whatever. Gender stereotypes and norms don't bother me. I don't mind John Cusack. I know plenty of people that hate him, because he's kind of comes off as smug and smarmy all the time. I like John Cusack a lot. I've never seen this, but I've seen a lot of his other stuff. I've even seen Cell, which yeesh. Whoa. I like the book, but the movie just yikes.
It's not his best movie, but not that one. I was going
to say what?
It's not his best movie, but I truly like Identity quite a bit. It was the first one that was like, this was all in his head the whole time type of movies. And
spoilers.
Yeah, it's like 34 years old.
I know. At this point, it's a grown
It's
adult.
nowhere near 34 years old.
I was going to say, it's probably like 20 years old at this point.
Hey, we talked about Danger Diabolic earlier. July 29th, Kino Lorber also releasing the Modern Diabolic Trilogy from 2020 to 2023. These are 3 films that are not very easy to get in the U.S. I believe the first 2 were subtitled in English, and the third one was not. And this is probably why, because they were coming from Kino. I gotta say, though, Jesse Nelson from Diabolic DVD pointed out, it sure looks like they stole his logo for this poster or the cover art, which is kind of crazy. Just blatantly doing it to steal from a physical media retailer to put on physical media takes some cojones.
Manetti Brothers. Sorry, it's the only Italian thing on there.
That's true.
Kinko Attacks. What a great subtitle for anything. Oh, he stole it first. Wow.
Coming in early July, TerraVision releasing Invader from 2024. This is a collaboration with Music Box Films and Doppelganger releasing, so they are all working together on this. Music Box is not like a partner label, literally working together to put it out. This should be shipping in late June or early July. This is like a modern, overlooked home invasion crime thriller. And gonna have a perfect bound booklet in this, plus some interviews. Joe Swanberg is associated with this film. I know a lot of people love him. There's a Q&A on this, behind the scenes look at Invader, plus a CD soundtrack that's going to be a part of this. There's a hard box release and the CD that will be limited to 1,000 copies. After that, those will not be available again.
Never seen it, but it sounds fun.
Yeah. Definitely one that people should check out.
Oh my God. Speaking of things people shouldn't be watching, this summer, Rachel Zegler is in a film nobody asked for. In a world where people said, fucking why? What possessed them? I mean, like the devil?
Money.
Oh, yeah. Money. I love the almighty dollar. I can't, you know what? You don't even need to bother talking about this movie. It's so unbelievably bad.
A lot of people liked it still.
What?
Yeah.
The people that saw it, or the people that have a bone to pick with the people that saw it and didn't like it?
Dustin liked it.
That's fine. Literally, that's fine. Who cares if somebody likes a movie?
Yeah, so
I don't understand why anybody cares if somebody likes it. And I don't understand why anybody cares if somebody didn't like it. For me, I don't understand why it exists. How's that? You want to know? I don't understand why it exists. I don't understand why it exists. Because there's a woof. Got him. Roasted. It is the Gal Gadot effect of it all. It's fine if you wanted a live action Snow White, but what's the point? The original's fine. The original's perfect. The original is literally the movie that got the Disney company off the ground.
Got the first Oscar.
Look, whatever. I don't have some sort of bone to pick with the movie. If there are people that are calling each other names because of Snow White, that says more about the people calling each other names than it does anything else. Like, why?
Okay, so my less of a rant on this is, yes, this did not.
Who cares?
You're raving now, Chris. Calm down.
I'm going into histrionics.
This obviously did not need to exist. The original is still there for people to enjoy. This doesn't change anything for the legacy, nothing like that. However, this was kind of doomed to fail. Let's just be straight honest. When you cast Gal Gadot, who can't read any line without sounding like a mechanical something or other.
Hashtag Ryan hates women.
No, just
Gal Gadot. just women from a certain country in the Middle East. Got it.
Whoa. Jesus.
More or less where he's from.
That's why I said that. I'm glad you caught that.
Okay, you're welcome.
No, obviously.
Hail Mary, as one might say.
Wow. Do not care about that. But yeah, the press tour for this was going to be really bad. Obviously, when Gal and Rachel were coming out and verbally sparring pretty much, it was never going to be a good rollout. because one is pro-Israel and one was pro-Palestine, and they were like
Wait,
saying comments
what?
in the press junkets, and yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Can I just preface this by saying I knew none of this going in. I went and saw it on the Disney cruise because there was nothing for adults to do other than be drunk or be drunk. So I wanted to go see Snow White, which seemed like a better option. And I fell asleep like once for maybe 5 minutes. But like, I guess here's the thing. If you went and saw it, by God, Gal Gadot was going off the top rope. Ziggler. I don't understand. I guess for me, I knew none of the controversy going into it. It just doesn't justify its existence. That's it.
It shouldn't even be a controversy. Like, I don't know.
But controversy, like Eric Bischoff said, baby, this is a wrestling themed episode. Controversy creates cash.
Yes, that is true.
I mean,
except I guess in this case it did not.
People care about this movie. Like, why does this movie have anything to do with pro-Israel, pro-Palestine, pro-anything?
Because it's
a Snow White movie.
Because on Twitter, it's turned into an SJW thing to piss off white men, and that's what we've
Twitter,
got.
Using the phrase as an entry point on Twitter, that almost should invalidate the argument.
It does literally. Yes, absolutely.
Twitter is a fake environment that doesn't exist in reality. Dustin, I guarantee you, the person who said that to you wouldn't say it to you in person because you'd probably bend them over your knee and crack them in half.
Right. Anyways,
but you know what I mean? Like, that's just like being on the internet allows you to act a certain way, and people wouldn't act that way in person. And being behind a keyboard allows certain levels of anonymity, which people abuse. And like, this is a Snow White movie. Who cares?
Anyways.
I don't know. I don't get it. I'm sorry. You said we would have time to talk about it. I didn't know any of the controversy going into this. You realize that?
So let's let it pass. June 24th, 4K Steelbook, Blu-ray disc, DVD disc. That's it. They're not putting out a standard 4K here in the US. They might do it over in the UK like they sometimes do. But if you want, you can buy the fancy Steelbook of it. I do think it's unnecessary that we're getting live action remakes. However, I gotta be honest, the Lilo and Stitch one looks kind of fun. I think I just said Stitch instead of Stitch, but Lilo and Stitch looks pretty fun.
Again, if it justifies its existence, fine. That's all these movies need to do. That's
for Disney, the income justifies it, and that's all.
Well, yeah, I get it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, what's better, having somebody watch? So that's the question, right? Is it better to have people watch your movie on Disney Plus, the animated movie, or go to the theaters and watch the live action remake that you released? And I guess the live action remake route is the more important route because you capture not only the animated route, but also people that are going to go see it. That Lion King movie got a sequel, a prequel even. That got a Blu-ray release, because last time I was on here, we were talking about the release for Mufasa, which is talk about a movie that does not justify its existence. It has nothing to do with lions being pro anything. It's just a movie.
So anyway.
Cowards. He see it. Yeah, this is some hill to die on. I guess so. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Anyways, in June, A24 is releasing a Blu-ray of A Different Man from last year. Did you end up watching this?
I didn't. I just love that Snow White is so controversial. I'm sorry.
It's not, because we're past it. This is a really great movie. Really loved Adam Pearson in this.
Adam Pearson is now in The Elephant Man.
Sebastian Stan in this. Great movie. This release is going to have a commentary with Aaron Skimberg. I'm not sure how you say his last name. And then Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson are also on the commentary. We've got About Face Making a Different Man featurette, and then a behind the scenes featurette, and a Super 8 set documentation that they did, which is really cool. So some deleted scenes and then some postcards. A24 been ramping up their in-house physical media game. You should see this. It's a good one.
Yes. I don't know what do you want me to say?
Radiance, kind of killing it every single month. Their first Shinobi set did very well for them. So August 18th in the UK and August 19th in North America, they're releasing Shinobi Volume 2. This includes 3 more tales of ninja action. These are going to be HD digital transfers of each movie made on Blu-ray for the first time ever outside of Japan. You got new interviews on here. You've got new and improved English subtitles, 6 postcards, reversible sleeves. Looks like a really fun box set.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah, going to their next announcement. This one, August 18th in the UK, August 19th in North America, is Through and Through from 1973. This is one that I had not heard of. Love their art as usual for these releases. New 2K restoration on this. New interview with the critic. We got 3 short films from the director on this. And then a limited edition booklet with writing by the critic Ella Bittencourt. This is limited to 3,000 copies of the limited edition. And then August 18th, a Blu-ray of Senso from 1954. I know this is a title that a lot of people are excited about. I have never seen this, but Visconti's a director that a lot of people love. So this movie looks gorgeous and some of the best art that we've seen tonight by far on this release. 2K restoration of the film here, and then we've got 2 different versions on 2 different discs in this release. UK only release on the 18th of August. And yeah, we got some archival interviews, a reversible sleeve limited booklet. Have you seen anything from Visconti? Probably not. Got it.
No. Yeah, no. I have no credibility as a movie critic. How dare you?
Understood. Yeah, you didn't start till you started your podcast.
That's right. You got me.
Next one, August 18th, over in the UK only, not in the US. Radiance is putting out their second 4K disc. This will also be released in a Blu-ray only release. And this is The Inquisitor and Deadly Circuit. It is a double feature in the 4K release. The Inquisitor is 4K, but Deadly Circuit is not. That is a Blu-ray on both of their releases. This one is directed by Claude Miller and supposed to be really great. This is a 3-disc set if you buy the 4K release. And this will have a documentary on the making of The Inquisitor from 2016, some interviews, an appreciation of the film, and some more, and including a limited edition booklet as well. That's a good comment from Simner. Hey, Tony's here. What's going on, Tony? Diabolic sold out of their allocation of the French double feature in UHD. That is pretty crazy. I bet they're going to get more. That's interesting, though. Next up, Sands of the Kalahari from 1965 with one of the greatest posters here coming from Kino Lorber on July 15th. New HD master on this from a 4K scan. We got a new audio commentary by Howard S. Berger and Nathaniel Thompson, 2 friends of the channel, and a trailer on this one. Yeah, this looks like a fun poster.
Great.
Film Masters, we talked about them, I believe it was last week or the week before. 1939's Convict's Code is coming on Blu-ray from them this summer. This is one of their archive collection releases, which means it will not have any special features. It will have subtitles, and it is one that they have a brand new restoration on. So at least the film itself is being preserved in the highest quality possible. This movie sounds right up your alley because it's gay. I'm just kidding.
What the fuck, dude?
No, this movie sounds fun as hell. I feel like you and I.
What's wrong with you, Ryan?
It's exactly the joke you would make about yourself. July 15th, Altered Innocence releasing a Blu-ray of Queens of Drama, like Chris is being right now. This is from 2024. So this says, an outrageous lesbian pop musical satire. Inspired by the pop frenzy of the early 2000s, Queens of Drama charts the rise and fall of new star Mimi Madabour and her passionate, rage-fueled love affair with punk icon Billy Kohler. Man, Altered Innocence doing great stuff. This is one of those Diabolic exclusive slipcovers. Here is the standard poster art on this that will be on the inside. This has a CD soundtrack for this. Watch the trailer for this. This title looks incredible. I cannot wait to get this one in.
And you're straight.
I am, I think. It's a spectrum. Are you interested in seeing this? What was that about? Speaking of Muppet faces, geez.
Puppet faces. I've never seen this. I've never even heard of this. Most of the time, it's not like it exists in a vacuum, though. Somebody had to have known about this before now. Crazy. You don't even. I'm just drinking air. God.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
That was really funny.
Crazy. I'm glad somebody finally said something.
I love that he said Crazy Straw's Stanley Cup.
I'm drinking a lot of. I'm just drinking so much water.
The whistle.
That's what the noise water makes.
July 28th, we are getting a 4K steelbook from Paramount of To Catch a Thief. This is another 4K that they had already put out the 4K disc before. Now they're just doing it in special packaging. This is one of those 4Ks that looked really great. The original restoration on this was a 6K restoration. So quite a bit of clarity in there for sure. And big film there, obviously. Hitchcock, Cary Grant, Grace Kelly. It's a classic. This one I'm very curious about. I've never seen this one. Jon Cryer in Hiding Out, coming on 4K, Blu-ray, and a super rare DVD on a big title like this from Kino on July 29th. This is getting a brand new 4K SDR master by Studio Canal, new audio commentary by the director, moderated by Heather Buckley, another new commentary on this by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. And then on top of that, this is where it goes crazy. Kino doesn't really do much more than that. But if you look on the Blu-ray disc, they got a brand new interview with Jon Cryer. They got a new interview with the actress Annabeth Gish. They've got the original trailer on here. So they went out and actually got some talent on camera, which is rare for them.
And to be fair, we all know Jon Cryer is just very busy. I love you, Jon Cryer, as opposed to John Moner. That was a dumb dad joke. Sorry, I don't know where I was.
It's the perfect show for that.
I love Annabeth Gish, by the way, from the X-Files.
Nice.
Yeah. Her and Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
He's Bob great. To his friends.
Or Pat. His name is Bob Pat. Bob Pat to his friends.
Bob Pat. Bobby P. Bobby Pats. God. Good Lord.
Oh, man.
And he's not even drinking from the Crazy Straw Stanley Cup. Because that's what I'm doing, drinking water. Hydrate or dihydrate, baby.
Criterion, as part of their Janus Contemporary lines, is releasing...
Janus. That's what Sean Bean said in GoldenEye.
Wow. 2024's Vermiglio is coming on August 26th on Blu-ray and DVD from them. And as usual Vermiglio.
Vermiglio. By Mara del Perro. Come on, man.
On these, as usual, you get a Meet the Filmmakers interview with the director and a trailer, and that is it. But when these go on sale, $15 for the Blu-ray. That's not too bad.
Meet the Filmmakers. Sorry.
Imprint last night released a lot of titles, and then somehow after that even said, by the way, we're not done. We're announcing some more tomorrow. So they're going to be the first things that I post for next week's announcements. These are all coming on July 30th out of Australia. These are all on Blu-ray coming from Imprint. This first one is Jetstorm from 1959. This is a first time on Blu-ray anywhere in the world. And it is going to have a new audio commentary by Joe Botting and Kim Newman. New interview with the film historian Sheldon Hall. And this is not a film I've seen, but I love Richard Attenborough's accent from Nature documentary. See, another callback.
I like Richard Attenborough.
He's good stuff. Next one is The Juggler from 1953. Also a first time on Blu-ray ever. Has a worldwide debut there. Kirk Douglas starring film, and this one is not getting any special features announced yet. They're going to announce some of those later.
Wow, this is a Holocaust movie? The fuck?
Yes.
Wow.
It's about Nazi death camps from 1953.
What is it called? The Juggler?
Does
I
it
can already
say
think of two things wrong with the title of this movie.
that it doesn't start with Night of?
Night Krusty. Krusty Jugglers.
Stan, yes, that was the joke when I said the nature documentary thing. Thank you.
I thought he was talking about Bob Attenborough.
No, that was Bobby Pats.
Bobby P.
Next up, You Only Live Once, the Fritz Lang film from 1937, getting a Blu-ray release from them. You got an audio interview with Fritz Lang recorded at the National Film Theater in 1962. Interview with George M. Wilson, a filmmaking restoration comparison here. And there are going to be more special features that they announced later for this as well. Henry Fonda film.
Yes.
This one, I know there are a lot of people that are excited about this one. Track of the Cat from 1954, first time on Blu-ray ever. And this is a 50s Western from 1954 starring Robert Mitchum. We have already talked about him tonight. It says an audio commentary by the director's son, William A. Wellman Jr., Tab Hunter, and Frank Thompson all on this one. There's a making of documentary, a documentary from 1991 about Robert Mitchum, and a trailer, but just for being the first time in HD, people are very excited about this.
Bob to his friends.
Bob Mitch.
Bobby
It was
Mitch.
right there.
Bob
Bobby M.
Mitch. Bobby M.
But I was so waiting for you to say, Bobby M, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Annie M.
Bobby M.
This property is
Uh,
condemned. What a,
all right.
I went full Nosferatu for you.
And this is another Natalie Wood.
Yeah. You know the only kind of wood that doesn't float?
Natalie? This property is condemned.
Robert Wagner, everybody. Get dark.
I'm lost now. This property is condemned from 1966. First time on Blu-ray anywhere in the world, just like the others. Sidney Pollack directing. We got Natalie Wood and Robert Redford in this. Charles Bronson also in there. Yes.
I just love Charles Bronson. Hey, I'm Charlie Bronson. I love Charles Bronson. The Simpsons made me love Charles Bronson, that accent that he has. I'm going to go and fix Emmett. That's one of the funniest Charles Bronson gags in The Simpsons.
Wow. We got a new audio commentary on this one by the filmmaker Gillian Wallace Horvat. We've got Sidney Pollack on American Cinema retrospective, I guess. Career interview with Sidney Pollack. Yes, I said it wrong on purpose. Natalie Wood, a tribute by Peter Bogdanovich, a featurette, and another interview on Natalie Wood with the author Gavin Lambert. And yeah, this one sounds pretty decent.
Limited edition slipcase.
On all of them. And then probably the most exciting one for a lot of people this month is HUD from 1963. This one was nominated for 7 Academy Awards and won 3 of them. And this was filmed in Texas. This will have new audio commentary by C. Courtney Joyner and Julie Kurgo. New interview with Ileana Douglas, actress and granddaughter of Melvin Douglas. And, of course, limited slipcase like we just said. But then the one I'm most excited about. Blue and Fade In from 1968 and 73 are getting a double feature Blu-ray release in this 3-disc hard box. This will also include the brand new documentary by friend of the channel, Daniel Kramer, who made a documentary called Cruel, Usual, Necessary, The Passion of Silvio Narizano. And I don't have the Italian accent like you do.
Silvio Narizano.
It's a brand new doc that I had the opportunity to watch late last fall, and it is really... Oh, he's there. Look at that. He is in the chat. What's going on, Daniel? Yeah, had the opportunity to watch this, and excited to be talking to Daniel soon, and we'll have another new interview up on the show to talk about the documentary and what he was able to do for this. New commentary on this one with Daniel and with Nat Siegeloff. Again, Imprint does really great stuff, but to literally go out and commission this documentary with Daniel and turn in so much that is going to make an underappreciated filmmaker come in and get a lot of love. is something that more and more of these discs need to represent. I truly appreciate extras like this. And wow. Daniel says more extras coming than they announced. So there's going to be even more on this 3-disc set. That's exciting. Just a truly stupendous release. Cannot wait to get this in. Really great art and just great work. On top of all of that, on the disc with the documentary, you've got a new video introduction by Daniel himself, new special remembrance of Silvio by Peter Medak. We got new deleted sequences, new extended interviews. You're going to like this documentary. I'm really excited for people to see this, and glad that it's getting a disc release. It's not super common for something like that. That was primarily just a labor of love. I mean, the whole time Daniel was working on it, he was posting updates to Facebook, and it was nice to see it all come together in a way that is a true tribute to the director. All right. Moving on from that to Deaf Crocodile. Deaf Crocodile today announced a couple changes coming to their subscription. First, their next 6-month subscription will be available starting on May 15th, and it will be going until May 31st. That will be the next period that you can subscribe. The subscription will now be on their website, and they're also going to be having something that we're going to be talking about in a moment called Romero's Club, which is a membership. So the 6-month subscription means you will get all of their releases that are planned over the next 6 months. They are stopping the year-long subscription that they did last year. It was just a little hard to plan for, and with how they have ramped up their releases and the number of discs per release, I totally understand why. It is quite a crazy schedule to keep up with like that. So going forward, subscriptions will now be offered directly through their shop, and they're only going to be doing 6-month domestic and U.S. subscriptions here. No more international subscriptions. They're going to be talking about that and have some options for that in the coming weeks. Because everything is so hard to predict, they've got the next 6 months here laid out for you. The titles here are The Devil's Bride, The Pied Piper, and the new Jiri Barta shorts. We've got Sirius, the 2551 trilogy, 3 by Teuvo Tullio, and then Alran and the Student of Prague, plus the Treasures of Soviet Animation volumes 2 and 3. The 6-month subscription will be $325, and that will include all shipping for the entire period. And on top of that, the price is locked in. So if something increases due to tariffs, you're still going to get it if you purchase it up front. If you're a subscriber, you get shipped out first, and you never have to go purchase anything. No more add-on titles or anything like that. You also will get access to their new Discord for their members. We've got a couple comments that I think I can answer. Kurgan says, so am I right in guessing Tragedy Man will be the last of the previous subscription? Yes, that is correct. Tragedy Man will be the June release, and that will be the final title of both the last 6-month subscription and the previous full year subscription. And Dustin says he will be there to re-up my subscription. Silent Mandible says, wait, is that a re-release of the Pied Piper? Yes and no. So here's the thing. The Pied Piper was released previously when they were a partner on OCN distribution. This is going to be a brand new 2-disc hardbox deluxe edition release of the Pied Piper with brand new art. And the first disc will be the same as the first release, but the second disc will be all new material. We got a handful of shorts licensed for it and new supplemental features. So you are kind of getting all this brand new stuff that will carry on and make you very happy. Definitely making it worth everybody's time. It's not quite just a full re-release. It's going to be a really nice set. And now, if you don't want the old one still, you can gift it to a friend who can love the movie because Pied Piper is great. We're going to talk about the membership in just a second. Brendan says, how much was the January 6-month sub? I think it was about the same. I don't have that memorized offhand. Somewhere around 300, 325, something like that. Colton says, Pied Piper has a little bit of a color change too, doesn't it? I don't think so. I believe it's the exact same disc, and it's not even being reauthored. I think it's identical. Not sure. If Craig is still in the chat. Oh, there he is. And he says, or get a membership instead of a sub. Yeah, we're going to talk about the membership right now. Because that is, to me, this is the more exciting and revolutionary thing for boutique companies out there. So they are also announcing Romero's Club, and these are full-blown website memberships. And this is going to be available when their new website opens on May 15th. Craig answered the question here. He says, we didn't mess with the color. Color was director approved, and he loved it. So no difference there. Okay, so Romero's Club, this is going to be available on their website. And here's the thing. There are going to be subscriptions, but you may want to listen to all this and just choose to get a membership here. The membership is going to be available in 4 different tiers. All of them have the following benefits. So you can save money. You're going to get shop credit depending on the tier that you go in, and it will give you a discount on their shop already. You will get an exclusive members-only trading card. You can buy what you want when you want. So if instead of subscribing, you want to be able to choose what you have coming in, instead of just reading what's coming for the next 6 months, and you may not want it all, you want to pick and choose, you can choose to do that through a membership. You'll also get access to the Discord if you become a member on here. And through the Discord, they're going to be like showing artwork. They're going to be doing some like step-by-step things behind the scenes so you can see it before it goes live for everybody else. Sharing sneak peeks of upcoming projects, offer out-of-print titles as they can. But the important part is each of the tiers. What do they cost and what do you get? The first one is called Film Lover. This is $300, and it gets you $350 of credit in their website on top of all the benefits we just talked about. Nothing else extra with that, just the film credit and those other perks. The second one is called Celluloid Champion. This one costs $400, but you get $500 of shop credit, so the amount that you save is already higher. And if you go with that tier, you get a free Deaf Crocodile pin that will be exclusive to the members. The next tier is $750, but you get $1,000 of shop credit. This one will also get you that pin that we were talking about and a Deaf Crocodile t-shirt. And then the biggest one, Patron Saint. This one costs $1,000, but you get $1,500 of shop credit. So you're already saving 33% on everything. You get that Deaf Crocodile pin. You get the t-shirt that they talked about. If you're one of the first ones to sign up, you will get a Dave McKean Pied Piper limited numbered edition print while supplies last. And then the last thing, you'll get a thank you in one of the upcoming releases, and you get to choose which one.
I think you should buy the $1,000 level.
Yeah, everybody listen to Chris.
I'm sitting here synthesizing what you've been saying, and if you look, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest physical media guy. However, if I was, and if I were able to spend the money, $1,000, it doesn't make any sense to spend anything else.
I mean, to save literally a third off of the cost of everything immediately.
Right. Yeah. Like, you put it on a credit card, right? I mean, times are tough, but how tough are they really?
Please don't listen to Chris.
I'm just trying to help you out, baby.
If you're going to put it on a credit card, get the points so you get even more of a discount and then pay it off immediately.
Yeah, you could pay. And you know what? You can fly to wherever you, Boca Raton, Key West. I don't know. I don't know where you live. I don't
think you're going to get to fly to Boca Raton with buying one thing for $1,000. But hey,
if
you could try.
Imagine if you buy 4 things, 4 subscriptions for people that you know to Deaf Crocodile. Deaf Crocodile. If you're here, you ain't that deaf. I'm giving free advertisement right here, baby. I'm just saying.
Listen, to me, I
listen to him.
I think more labels should take notice of this because this is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the labels benefit, you benefit. Craig did a poll in my Discord recently and asked, when somebody subscribes to a label, what is the thing that makes you want to subscribe? And most people answered literally feeling good about helping to support a small label and being able to pony up that money and say, like, we're investing in you ahead of time. We're huge.
All adults here. We know that you're buying the DVDs cheaper than they're selling them for. Like, or excuse me, the other way around. Like, we know that. Like, so if you're going to give somebody $1,000 and $1,500 in credit in the store, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
Like, because I guarantee you, people who are listening to your show and watching this right now aren't just spending $200 a year on movies. And because they're not that cheap.
Some of them are.
Well, if they're that discerning. I mean, there's a lot of
Lucky
stuff
them.
like lucky them. Exactly. Like there's so much stuff that's coming out. Even me sitting here as someone who doesn't buy physical media wants to buy like at least 4 of the things that you mentioned. And if I were to buy 4 of those things and they were all on Deaf Crocodile and I could spend $200, which I know I'm going to spend anyways to get $300 or $250 credit or whatever it is, there's no reason I wouldn't just do it just cause like smart. It's very smart. It's consumer friendly like choices. And in this day and age, like making a choice that's consumer friendly is really not something that a lot of brands are doing.
Paul, I believe if you are international, you can be a member because you're still going to have to pay for shipping, but I believe that will be a part of your money that you input. I don't think there's any restriction there because you're literally essentially just buying a gift card for the website. So yeah, you're going to have to pay shipping eventually out of that gift card, but at least you're a member and you get all the perks and a huge discount while you're at it.
This is treating your fans and consumers like adults and not like idiots. And I appreciate that. Like as someone who, again, knows how expensive these things are.
Craig says, but we can't ship international, so that wouldn't make sense. So never mind, I guess. Don't do that. They're working out something. Okay, there's more coming for international folks. I thought they were going to be able to do that for memberships.
Which, by the way, Craig, is even better because they're actually taking international people into account because so many of these releases that you've talked about like have been international releases. Like you said, like Australia, the UK, like, again, I don't think Warner is doing anything other than overcharging people for it, like, which, fine. But it's nice to see a label actually taking notice of the people that are spending the money and that are engaged with them directly. Like, foster a community. Don't foster people that are spending money on your products.
Especially in a time of tariffs, which is scary for everybody. All right. Yeah. So that is Deaf Crocodile. All this goes live with a revamp to their website a week from today on May 15th. So look for that then. BFI is the last thing that we got today, and that is 3 announcements from them. July 21st, a 4K is coming of Human Traffic from 1999. This is one that I had never even heard of, and yet so many people today were saying that this is one of their favorites, which is crazy. I don't know how I've missed this one. This seems like one I definitely got to see.
That's the Master from Doctor Who, I believe. Also, what a weird album. It's so washed out intentionally.
Yeah, it's a odd poster. Yes.
Yeah.
Need to see this one. Oh, and Ronnie's never heard of it. I feel a little less bad. It seems very British, that's for sure.
Yes, it does. I mean, even down to the album artwork being washed out.
All right. Next title is a pretty big one. Women in Love from Ken Russell, getting a 4K on July 14th. This is going to have a 4K presentation with Dolby Vision. There's going to be portrait of... this is from this is the documentary on Ken Russell's life and his career from 1989, almost 50 minutes long. There's an interview with Alexander Varney Elliott from 2025 that's brand new interview with Ken Russell's son. There is going to be 1968 10-minute interview with Larry Kramer and Alan Bates and Jenny Linden on the set of Women in Love. A whole bunch of other archival extras, short films, Guardian lectures, all kinds of stuff coming in this. But I mean, huge title for Oliver Reed fans, huge title for Ken Russell fans. Glenda Jackson, it was huge in this. This one, the first release, their first pressing is also going to have an illustrated booklet with it. But man, so many people are going to be after this title. One that I've not been able to see yet, but Ken Russell, so odd throughout his career, and this seems like a really necessary one if you're trying to get into it, for sure.
Oliver Reed, baby. I'm an Oliver Reed fan. His audiobook about his life is 18 hours long.
Yeah, that checks out. There's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, there is.
Finally, Baji on the Beach from 1993. Do you know this one, Chris?
I don't.
Since you are the Bollywood cinema guy,
I know. I know. All of a sudden, I've lost all credibility.
No extras on this one announced yet, but there will be extras coming. This is coming on July 14th on Blu-ray over in the UK. And
from the British Film Institute, the Indian film releasing syndicate. Yes.
I mean, is that surprising?
That I don't know it? Not now, no.
No, British Film Institute part.
It depends on your definition of surprising.
Never mind.
Lots of movies. Once again, lots of things for people to spend their money on.
Yeah, and just a reminder, this is what's coming out next week, in case you forgot. Next Tuesday is May 13th. Adam, yes, Baji is a British film, but we were talking about it in terms of Indians in cinema, because Chris has covered a lot of those films.
But I cover films made by Indian people in India.
Right.
Just for clarification.
On a very long, ongoing podcast, and everybody should go check it out.
Speaking of Marvel and people needing your money,
Captain America Civil War is next week. Not Civil War, Brave New World. Mickey 17 from Bong Joon-ho is next week as well. Andromeda Strain 4K from Arrow. Black Bag 4K. Did you end up watching that one, the Soderbergh?
Mm-mm.
I need to. Have not seen it yet. It's streaming now. Dune Prophecy 4K, the series, The Crazies 4K Steelbook, Better Man on 4K. You ended up watching that one.
Good movie.
May from Vestron Video.
Like dancing monkeys.
That's true. It's a good question. Bikini Car Wash Company double feature from MVD Rewind. Vice Squad 4K from Kino Lorber. We got the Kick-Ass 4K Steelbook next week. Masters of the Universe Steelbook coming.
Glossed over Demolition Man. Do you know?
It's just a standard edition.
Do you know how to use the 3 shells, though?
Funny enough, that's the second time today that reference has been made to me.
And the first time you haven't done it in front of them.
I said it earlier because my wife has never seen Demolition Man, and my mom said we should watch it. And I said, yeah, she doesn't know about the 3 seashells.
Man, there's a weird ad lib by Wesley Snipes in that movie that I still don't understand to this day.
Which one?
Where he goes, he says a racial slur towards Chinese people for no reason. It's very, very Wesley Snipes.
I mean, it's a reason.
Yeah, it's Wesley Snipes for you.
Let's see.
Wanted, huh? Man, talk about a movie I haven't thought about in a really long time.
Right? Yeah, The Wind Will Carry Us from Criterion is next week. Tunnel Vision.
Was there a sequel to that movie?
No.
Man. Okay, I first thought for whatever reason there was. What a strange film. Chris Pratt? Yeah.
I don't even remember Chris Pratt being in it.
He's
I just remember McAvoy and Jolie.
He's the dickhead in James McAvoy's office that like his girlfriend's cheating on him with.
Okay.
Remember how there's like the slow-mo thing where he hits him with the keyboard? That's Chris Pratt that's getting hit with the keyboard.
You must have been very young then, Chief.
Well, it's like, I think it's almost like pre-Parks and Rec even.
Right, somewhere around there. Wanted 4K Steelbook is next week. Mad Max 5 film collection, yet another one coming out. The End coming out next week. Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. Gate of the Flesh from 88 Films. Pete Walker Crime Collection. Room 666 and Room 999 from Janus Contemporaries. A Capote media book. The Naked Witch from VCI. Some other standard editions. Daddy Dearest and Juice from Altered Innocence is next week. And those are the main ones.
So everybody go out and get your copy of Captain America Brave New World because Disney needs your money.
I am very curious to see Better Man. I think I'm probably going to pick up that.
You should. I think of all the things that are mentioned right here, Better Man is the thing that didn't get enough traction on this side of the pond.
Yeah.
British people don't have to be sold on Robbie Williams. Americans don't even know who Robbie Williams is for the most part.
Exactly. And that's why they could hide him with the monkey.
Hide him with the monkey.
Well, yes. And yes, May is a great movie. I truly love May. Lucky McKee did great with that one. All right, Chris. Are you ready for a Film Foundations? It's been some time.
It's time to take this thing out back. Put it down. You get to you know how they talked about those ritual murders we were all going to be seeing on live TV? You get to see one live on YouTube now.
You want to do our intro for everybody? Or you want me to?
I would like you to.
All right. And now, just so everybody knows, yes, we are going to release this on the Film Foundations podcast section. So I'm going to be essentially starting a new episode here. But yeah, give us 20 seconds and we'll be back to normal. So, Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Film Foundations, the collaborative show between Weirding Way Media and someone's favorite productions. I'm one of the co-hosts, Ryan Verrill from Disconnected.
And I'm your other co-host, Chris Stachiw from Weirding Way Media.
On the show, we're going to answer 4 questions about a given topic that is surrounding either an actor, director, franchise, or micro-genre. Today's is not micro in the least bit. We're going to be talking about the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger. Our job is to entice you to broaden your horizons on film, to encourage you to travel down film tangents and side roads that you have never traveled down otherwise. And it's been a while that we have not recorded one of these new ones. And now we are going to be sharing the news that we already shared in this live stream, that this is going to be the last Film Foundations for some time, at least. Going to be taking a brief hiatus. No idea when we're going to be coming back. Could be in 12 days, could be in 12 months, could be in 12 never. So we'll see. This episode, though, Arnold Schwarzenegger, what kind of a role did he play in your upbringing there, Chris?
A lot role. I went to Universal Studios for the first time because my grandfather on my dad's side wanted me to see the Conan the Barbarian live show. My grandfather then subsequently showed me more or less every Schwarzenegger film that I saw before a certain age, including Predator, Total Recall, Terminator 1 and 2. Arnold Schwarzenegger was come on. Arnold Schwarzenegger was someone who, for me and my mom and dad and I growing up, like, we watched his movies a lot.
Right.
Like True Lies, Eraser. I don't know. Like Schwarzenegger, like let me put it this way. He's on a list of people where he's on a very short list of people that I would be like, he's a holy grail interview. I think it probably is for a lot of people. Like yourself probably included, even, like, because, I'm not to bury the lead, as it were, but like, I think you and I both are of the right age and predilection to be like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is kind of the man. Like, his peri delictos, as they say, aside, like, I don't know. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I think he's kind of the man, his whatever aside, but there was nobody bigger for quite a while.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic because the amount of things that he has been in, from Hercules in New York to the most recent stuff, which, granted, it's basically cameos at this point, and weird things like that. God, I should know this offhand.
It's not cameos, though. It's more like bad movies.
Right. So that's what I was about to get at. The Taron Killam movie. What was that called?
Killing Gunther.
Oh my gosh, there it is. Yes, Killing Gunther. So that movie, oh man, I wanted so much more from that movie because I like Taron Killam, and then it's Arnie. So it's a weird career, but in the middle, there are so many, like, damn near perfect, life-changing movies that one actor would have been beyond fortunate to make, and he made like 12 of them, essentially.
I know.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's it's kind of the Steven Spielberg argument where it's like, if you just directed Jaws, you'd be happy. Like, but you directed Jaws and Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, and I mean, again, like Jurassic Park and guys, AI, Ready Player One. I'm kidding at this point. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of those actors that, like, I don't know, he's left an indelible mark on, like, everything. There was a theme park ride devoted to him. Yeah. Like, Terminator 3D, A Battle Across Time. Like, that's just, let's have somebody pretend to be Arnold. Like, I don't know. For me, there is no, when you say action hero, while, yes, it is in the title of one of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies, I think when I think action hero, the immediate word association is Schwarzenegger, right? For me, it is.
For a lot of people, this is the guy. I mean, literally, this is probably the. I can't think of anybody else other than maybe Ferrigno a little bit that was pretty much known just for being strong, and that people felt was destined for some of these roles because of his size. And man, did he prove them right. He took the reins on things like a franchise of Commando and Terminator and made them memorable to a point that they are, annual watches for a lot of people. People have watched these things every year since they were a kid. And then even the one-off deals that aren't, as watched, like Red Sonja, not a great movie, but a lot of people love him in that movie. And then, of course, he's in the original Predator, which changed things for a lot of people. And that's when it started to take off. He started making the more like, oh God, this guy can actually act here. We've got, the Running Mans. You've got the jokey stuff like Twins. You've got Total Recall, and then the '90s goes crazy. You've got Kindergarten Cop. The Terminator franchise keeps going, and he just churns them out here. Last Action Hero, True Lies, Junior. We could just keep naming movies and going, oh gosh, it's one of the best. But the true essence of this tonight for this first question, this is actually going to be a really difficult question to answer because there are so many different ways to look at this guy's career. He's got movies that proved he could act. He's got movies that are nostalgic. He's got literally stone cold classics. I'm genuinely curious to see what you're going to answer for the first question.
My answer is actually, I did not struggle with my answer at all. I think in terms of Arnold Schwarzenegger, there is no better film to watch that distills everything he's known for, including being somewhat brusque and limited in his dialogue, to the physicality, to the humor. I think 1985's Commando. I don't think there's a better movie. And there's nothing to dance around. Batman and Robin is actually a good movie if you look at it as a movie being made in terms of that wig and Around the World in 80 Days. Pretty good as well. Batman and Robin is great if you look at the fact that it's essentially just them doing 1967 Batman in 1997. But again, I get it. Like, it's not great. Come on, Bird Boy. Commando, I think, is everything that I want from Schwarzenegger. Everything Schwarzenegger is good at distilled down into a perfect film. There's no sequel to Commando. Commando's one and done. Like, John Matrix never comes back. Commando is I think Commando is a perfect movie. Down to Arnold and Alyssa Milano feeding a deer at the beginning of the movie, including to let off some steam, Bennett. Everything. I love Commando. Commando is a perfect movie, from Ray Dong Chong to, I don't know, Dan Hidea's chest hair pretending to be, he's like a South American dictator. Like, I love Commando. David Patrick Kelly is in that movie for like a hot minute. I don't know. Commando is a perfect movie. It is the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I will die on that hill. Fight me if I'm wrong, but I find most people could find a reason to discount a lot of Schwarzenegger movies. Commando is one that I feel like you'd be pressed to find something wrong with it.
I agree. For those that have not heard Film Foundations before, by the way, the first question is, what do you consider a foundational title for the selected actor that we're talking about tonight? So Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is the foundational title, is what Chris said, is Commando, which
there's like one other answer in my mind.
And I get that. I am going to probably not be that one other answer. I am going to throw out a movie that is a different era of Schwarzenegger, and I got to go with 1994's True Lies for this. Now, this is a very good mixture of action and comedy Schwarzenegger, and actually shows that he can act. Like, the final act of this has some decent heart. Sure, the 4K disc that came out on this one is not great. There's a handful of scenes that are really terrible. The rest of the movie looks really good, but there's a handful of scenes that are really bad on this 4K disc. But this movie is special. When you see the chemistry between Jamie Lee Curtis and him, and fucking Tom Arnold and everything else, like this
got
movie,
a little dick. It's pathetic. Bill Paxton in that movie is great. He's great.
I mean, this movie starts as James Bond essentially and goes in so many different directions. It's just a fun damn movie, but because it captures so much of his range that he did in his career, I truly love this movie, and I think it is the best one, again, to bring people that have never watched an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which I totally understand is actually quite difficult. Although I bet there's a lot of people under the age of got 25 nowadays that have never seen any. They've probably never seen any Arnie movies other than Jingle All the Way.
The best movie, frankly.
Let's be honest. It's a prestige title.
Yeah. Come on, Turbo Guy.
Again, like to what we were just saying, this truly could have been the Terminator. This could have been Conan. This could have been...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were going to go with was Conan. I think True Lies... Can I mention something that kind of gets... True Lies is like kind of a weird movie in terms of the politics of it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I think that's maybe the one thing that discounted it. Like, True Lies really is like James Cameron doing a James Bond movie.
Yeah, literally.
True Lies also, similarly to Commando, does not have a sequel. I think similarly to Commando makes a case that it probably needed a sequel. Like, I don't know. True Lies is a movie I saw a lot growing up. I love True Lies. You're fired. I mean, come on. That's a great line. Like, Bill, you said, everything about that movie's great. Like, I love True Lies. And they even ape James Bond at the beginning of the movie with him showing up and blowing up the building and the tuxedo.
Putting on a suit after going...
No, it's not even that. He's in the wetsuit and he takes it off. He's already in the tuxedo. Like, it's Connery at its best. You even have Charlton Heston in there. Like, is it Charlton Heston or James Coburn? I guess it's probably James Coburn.
I think it's Heston.
Okay, is it? I can never...
I think. I don't remember.
I'm kind of disappointed you didn't say Last Action Hero, but Ryan...
I don't love Last Action Hero.
Oh, man.
It's not for me. It's not even top 10 Schwarzenegger in my mind.
What?
Yeah, it's might not even be top 15.
What? No, that's not right. No, come on. What? There's got to be am I the only person on planet Earth who likes Last Action Hero?
No, you're not. In fact, Jonah liked it quite a bit when I showed it to him last year. Before we go on,
what am I supposed to do with that?
Before you go to the second question, which it looked like you were about to do.
No, I was more just curious because anybody likes that. That's actually
what I really want to spend a moment on here is we can't talk about foundational films without really giving a lot of attention to Pumping Iron. Pumping Iron is what got Arnold Schwarzenegger noticed in America. It's what made him get a film career. It's what made everybody go, holy shit, this guy is here and he's a beast. And oh my God, he is going to take the world by storm. And then he did.
Ryan discounting 1970s Hercules in New York, which has one of the great Arnold lines, I want to the discourse. And
yes,
by the way, if you want to see something really funny, there's a scene in Hercules in New York where Arnold Schwarzenegger fights a bear in Central Park. And by a bear in Central Park, I mean a guy in a bear outfit. Fist fights Arnold Schwarzenegger dressed in a toga. Or I guess
automatically makes it a great movie.
He's in a turtleneck at that point, which is equally as bizarre and strange because you have this super yoked Arnold Schwarzenegger wearing an ill-fitting turtleneck. Hercules in New York is bad. Pumping Iron is good because they were just he's charismatic. Just let the guy talk. I mean, there are some throwaway lines from Pumping Iron that are not safe for television. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's this guy became a very wholesome, family in a lot of ways, to the point where they put him in a family film and he's talking about what he's talking about. Schwarzenegger's always had an edge to him. I think when he's had an edge to him, I think he's at his best.
Yes, I think once he acclimated with Conan and really went from there, finally it was okay, I can let loose. And that's the big thing though, is they let him let loose. For the quote stars today, I don't know. There's not a lot of edge there. They're groomed to be this immaculate person, not allowed to take on risky roles or say risky things in a role, or they've got requirements on their contract where they can't do certain risky things. And Schwarzenegger just didn't care. He made a lot of risky choices, and a lot of them paid off. He made a hell of a career out of it. And what's great, we haven't even mentioned the fact that not only was this amazing film career here, this dude was the governor of California. That is a crazy happenstance.
And he's an immigrant.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, good for him.
Taking jobs from Americans.
It's okay. He took it away
Gray
from
Davis.
us. Yeah, he's taking it away. Gavin Newsom. Look, at the end of the day, I think Schwarzenegger, like personal feelings on politics aside, I always felt like Schwarzenegger is a very charismatic person. And I think that ends up being like the thing that there are other people that were bodybuilders. There were other people that were doing, I mean, like Jesse Ventura, like all kinds. I mean, like Jesse Ventura was in plenty of things. Like, and he's also
in politics.
Yeah, and politics. But I think the former governor of Minnesota, I don't think that Jesse Ventura has this chill bird boy. God damn, good Lord. Your comment section is popping off, baby. I don't think there's ever been someone as charismatic as Schwarzenegger in terms of what he did. Like Stallone, Ventura came close, but like Schwarzenegger hit the ceiling. He went as far as you can go as what he was.
I think he set the ceiling.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like, no one has gone further than him because that ceiling's very high. Like, there, like you said, there are several movies of his where I'm like, those are genre classics. Like, he's, again, the Spielberg of it all. Like, he's involved in things where if you were involved with just that, you'd be happy. But he's involved with several things. Again, also, not to mention the fact that he's involved with a franchise who, up until the third movie, the first two movies were almost unimpeachable.
Oh, literally, both of them, yeah.
They're still unimpeachable, frankly. They've been trying to live up to those first two movies since.
Yeah, like in more ways than one. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely true.
Schwarzenegger set the watermark. He is the high watermark for action hero. He is, all pun intended, the last action hero. They when they made Schwarzenegger, they broke the mold. They really did.
All that to say, he's great, and literally like 8 to 10 of these movies would have made perfect sense. I mean, Total Recall would have made sense here.
Depending on the genre skew you want to go with.
Right, and I
tried to go genre-less as possible. So did you, like.
Yeah, in a way, absolutely, and that's the thing. True Lies. I mean, it could meld to 8 different interests on how you're going to approach it. But
same with Commando.
Exactly, Running Man could have been a good choice here, but obviously something like Junior, you're not going to say watch Junior first.
I want my Larry. I love Junior. What a pro women's rights film.
It's such a weird.
It's such a fucking great movie. Where's the Kino release of Junior? I Won My Larry is
actually.
Oh my god! Of course it did. I Won My Larry is a great Schwarzenegger.
I think it did. Am I misremembering that? I got to look it up now. He has made some crazy.
He could make a movie like Junior because the star power of who he was allowed him to make.
Junior didn't come out from Shadowless Twins. Oops.
Wow. But Junior hasn't come because you know what? Nobody's willing to take the risk in releasing a pro women's rights film, right?
Just the studios.
Just the studio system. I mean,
that's where they treat women the best.
What a strange. Go watch it. It is a strange movie. Like I never thought I'd be like, what a strange pro women's rights film featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger getting pregnant, but okay.
Anyways, so Arnold Schwarzenegger has done all this, not to mention, we barely even broached on the governor subject. We might talk about that more later for one of the other answers. But the other thing, as well as or alongside Bruce Willis, who happens to be on my shirt tonight, which is weird that I'm saying his name right now, and Sly and a couple others, he hit businesses hard, like everything surrounding Hard Rock Cafe and that whole era of like branding yourself into becoming just literally one of the richest people in Hollywood. The amount of Schwarzenegger toys that have been sold in history has got to be an astronomical number.
Yeah, nobody knew how to brand themselves quite like Schwarzenegger, really. So, and then all of a sudden he hits a wall.
What was the wall there, Chris?
I think the wall is where do you perceive the wall to be? Because I think there's maybe 3 answers. Right?
I mean,
there's 3 things where you can be like, it's this, it's this, it's this, and I think you could have a conversation surrounding 3 of those things.
It really depends on when production on some of these things happen. Because, like, I don't hate. I also
think how quickly you sour on Schwarzenegger. How much goodwill has he built up with you? I think for me, most people probably soured on him either Batman and Robin or End of Days.
I was going to say End of Days, but it depends on when Jingle All the Way was made, because I know a lot of people hate Eraser too.
Reason.
I've
Eraser's fine.
Generic, yeah, that's the thing, and that's the hard part. When you're somebody like Schwarzenegger, you have raised the bar so high. If it doesn't come out and it's like this astonishing, brand new, crazy
what movie is Eraser worse than in his filmography?
A lot of them. Like,
is it though? Like, there's plenty of his movies that it's way better than that. I think
people for sure, but
that's my point. Like, I think it's just like because it's Schwarzenegger, it's not phenomenal. Yeah, he fights alligator. Your luggage again. He kills James Caan.
Like we said at the beginning, if this was any other actor, it could have been their best movie, literally. But because it's Schwarzenegger, he had just raised the bar so many times. It's kind of difficult to live up to that when you've made Terminator 2 Judgment Day. When you compare those two, Eraser's a pile of shit because Terminator 2 is a masterpiece.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, sure.
It's true. I mean, they flew a helicopter under an overpass.
Eraser, Jingle All the Way, or Batman and Robin. People are checking out at Batman and Robin, probably. Or Jingle
Whoa,
All the Way, right?
Adam says Last Action Hero versus Jurassic Park. That's even earlier.
Look, people, you know what? It probably is Last Action Hero. Most people hate Last Action Hero, yourself included.
No, I mean, True Lies is after that. Jingle All the Way is after that. I don't know.
Most people hate fucking Jingle All the Way, man.
I mean, Expendables 2 is after that.
No, that's a fucking outlier. I think most people probably, you know what? Probably it is Last Action Hero. Most people don't like Last Action Hero. And I understand why. There's plenty of reasons not to like it.
To say there's nothing good after that is crazy, though.
It's not that there's nothing good. It's that the consistency is not there.
That statement is understandable.
Dude, he made like nobody had a better 80s and early 90s than Schwarzenegger.
That's true. All right. Are we ready for our second question then?
Yes.
So our second question, as always, is recommend a lesser-known, quote, gem within his filmography that probably isn't like a great first-time watch, but it's still a really good movie. It's just not the way that you should enter into his filmography. So what's your pick for this one?
Last Action Hero.
Really? You think that's not a good entry into him?
No, because you have to at least seen one Schwarzenegger film to understand the meta references in Last Action Hero, which the film is replete with. The film is all about deconstructing the mythos of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, and I think that's probably also why the movie doesn't work for a lot of people, is because the movie is less interested in being an action movie and more interested in deconstructing how Schwarzenegger is perceived by the audience, especially through the late 80s, early 90s. Last Action Hero is a weird movie. I think, Jesus, wow. I mean, again, I think these are all applicable answers. Red Heat is fun. But Red Heat and Commando, there's nothing about either of those movies that I think, like, I don't know. For me, Last Action Hero, it has a lot to say about who Schwarzenegger is at the time.
Right. And
you have to have at least seen one Schwarzenegger movie to appreciate it. But I'm not sure you need to see more than one or two of his movies to appreciate Last Action Hero.
On the logic side of that, I get, so it kind of makes sense. However, I even still think, like, just not having seen anything, it's still an enjoyable movie.
I agree. I don't think you'll get the most out of it, though.
No, of course, absolutely. Last Action Hero is fun. Like, I just a minute ago I said it wasn't for me, and it's only because, again, his filmography. Like, I'm not saying I hate the movie. It's just so difficult when he's got so many masterpieces under his belt. Like, this is a weird one. And again, I know that we've sort of introed Film Foundations for everybody, but the way that Film Foundations is approached is you were literally introducing this entire subject to somebody who's never been into any of it. So, like, Chris's answer makes sense here, because if you've never seen any of them, you're missing a lot of Last Action Hero. And that's why my answer is kind of weird for this. Again, it's going to sound like it's going to sound ridiculous for all of us that grew up with this as a staple in our life. It's going to sound ridiculous for everybody that loves Arnie because it is a classic and all that stuff. But I think one of the best answers here is Kindergarten Cop, because this movie is, like, genuinely top tier Arnold Schwarzenegger. However, if it's your first movie with Arnold, you're like, okay, it's just a weird dude teaching a school and it's like a wannabe action movie. No, it's kind of like Last Action Hero. In a way, it's lampooning and undermining the idea of what he set up for his career before then, and making a like kindergarten and preschool class into a literal, like almost satire of what he's done. It is a masterpiece of a movie. The action's actually good. The dialogue is really great. The story's fun. Yeah, there's some contrivances like every movie in the 80s and 90s. However, this is immensely quotable. The amount of like really great child performances in this are great. The villain is freaking crazy. We get to some really weird situations, like actual in a school shootout. Yeah, this is a really great movie. I think Kindergarten Cop is great. It is the first movie that sort of undermined the idea of the action star, and now you get things like Dwayne Johnson doing the Tooth Fairy and all that other stuff in the future. But this is the right way to do it. It doesn't make it ridiculous for ridiculous sake. It makes it ridiculous to just make the absurdity of a well-known, incredible action star doing action in a believable situation. Tooth Fairy and stuff like that is not quite the same.
Stop, or my mom will shoot.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Getty, everybody. Yeah, what is Schwarzenegger baiting Sylvester Stallone into that movie is definitely hilarious.
That's a top tier Schwarzenegger move.
Yeah, that's a flex. Kindergarten Cop's, I think, a good answer here.
It's a fun movie. I recently watched. Had a great 4K disc from Kino. It's a good movie. And it's also more adult than I remembered. It is damn good.
I'm Detective John Kimball. That is what it's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Yeah.
And him just like screaming at children, which is a vibe.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Can I say what again, Sibner? That Kindergarten Cop is more adult than I remember? Oh, what? I'm confused. All right. Our third question here. What is the what is the biggest impact that Arnold Schwarzenegger has had on pop culture? And again, this is where it gets crazy because he has literally changed like all of cinema. He was a governor. He has raised businesses. He has made, he has said and done things in public view that has set the course for, tide changes in certain things. He's had affair scandals. There's all kinds of stuff that has been huge that he's been a part of. You want me to go first on this one?
It sounds like you already were.
I mentioned it earlier, so I'll just go through it here. The fact that somebody with this charisma was the governor of California for 8 years in a time of political turmoil for the state is...
That's Riz, by the way, if you're less than like 30 years old listening to this.
By far the biggest thing that he impacted in so many different ways. I will say it was really odd being I believe the year he got elected was between 2003 and 2004, or it's the summer of 2003, something like that. People forget, maybe, that this was because Governor Gray Davis had been ousted through some scandals, that he broke some laws, and they needed a recall election. And Arnold Schwarzenegger was going up adult stars. He was going up against...
Spud Bustamante.
all kinds
remember
of people.
Spud? You remember Spud? I remember Spud.
Yes.
Who else ran? They were like Larry Flint. Was that the one where Larry Flint ran?
I don't
Might have been.
think he was in California at that time. I don't know. Maybe. He was the one that really united a lot of people. This was a period that in literally like the biggest budgeting state in the entire country rallied together in a time of, like I said, political turmoil, brought people together. And it is a shock to me and many people at the time that the Terminator could step in and run the government competently after that. It was not a failure of a governor's seat. He actually did a fairly good job. He ran as a conservative in the quite liberal state of California and did very well. I also have a personal connection to it in the fact that I was chosen from my school to be a part of Boy State at the time, which is a government thing. And we had to go up to Sacramento during the whole recall election. And a very odd time in California politics. The amount of people that were essentially like lost without a true leader at that time was embarrassing for the state. And he came in there and made a lot of really positive changes, some good policy moves. And obviously he is like the action star of not just a generation, but like of all of film history here. But I think in a way, the fact that he followed that up in a positive way is something that not a lot of other people could have done at that time.
I think if you were to draft a cinematic draft, he is who you take first if you go action star. Right?
For me, without a doubt, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody else is even close. You'd say like 1A, 1B, like Schwarzenegger, and then like Stallone is like a B.
I think
there's a big amount of space between the A and the 1 and the 2, or the A and the B in this scenario.
A lot of people would say Tom Cruise, but I'm not one of those people.
What?
Yeah, truly.
What? God, no. I'm sure. Yeah, fine, whatever. We's like one franchise doesn't count. It's Mission Impossible, man. I guess
It's
Top
not-
Gun, but Top Gun didn't have a sequel for literally 30 years.
Sequels don't matter. He's done a lot of one-offs that are really great.
It's Mission Impossible.
Stunt
Isn't that what it
performance.
is at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know. If you say Tom Cruise, it's because you have recency bias. Fight me. It is recency bias because Arnold Schwarzenegger hasn't had a good movie in like 10 years plus. Jack Reacher flicks. Have you seen them? That is not the correct interpretation of that character, and that is not just me saying that. One of Jack Reacher's characteristics is being physically imposing. I am sorry. Tom Cruise would never be physically imposing unless you're 5'2". See Alan Richardson as Jack Reacher on the TV show. That's all I'm saying. I guess, is it literally Mission Impossible? Is that it?
No. Live, Die, Repeat.
I like that movie, but I mean, like...
Collateral. That's a good one.
The Schwarzenegger film? Oh, that was Collateral Damage. Arnold fights terrorists. You remember that movie? What a strange film.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Saw that one in theaters.
Oh, God, the Mummy, Adam. The Mummy that killed the universe before it started.
Man, they really signed a check that their asses couldn't cash, huh? Dark universe, everybody.
That's true.
Oof.
I love that they took that picture and just said, here's what we're going to do. And Tom said, no, you ain't.
My favorite thing about the Dark Universe stuff is what, Tropic Thunder? What? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's my favorite. That is the best thing Tom Cruise has ever done.
Well,
tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I get it.
Yeah, it is a risky business. You said business several times earlier, and I thought about saying risky. I think for me, the biggest influence is Schwarzenegger is the consummate action hero. He is the first, last, and only action hero. If aliens came to this planet and someone said, "Send us an action hero," you would send them Arnold Schwarzenegger. That is the answer. Nobody had a bigger mid 80s, early 90s than Schwarzenegger. And that was the time for the action hero. Anybody can be an action hero now. There was a time and a place where that kind of action hero was the only kind of action hero, the age of Hulk Hogan, who, brother, he's really fucked his legacy up. Like Schwarzenegger, I think, has been on the right side of things too, which I really appreciate. Like, not to get all politically preachy, but like Schwarzenegger's on the right side of things, if you know what I mean. He's on the not so far right of things, if you catch my drift. I think he shows, if you were to ask someone, draft for me the quintessential American story, it would look like Arnold Schwarzenegger is on a short list of people who you could be like, it's Schwarzenegger's life. Austrian immigrant who comes to this country, starts out as an athlete, becomes a movie star, and then becomes a politician, and somehow at the end of it doesn't manage to completely destroy his legacy. It's the quintessential American dream. How has nobody done a documentary? I mean, there's been documentaries about it, but like a biographical film about Schwarzenegger hasn't been made yet, because like, what is there to say other than it is the quintessential American dream story? The only thing he couldn't do is be president. Literally.
Legally. Yeah.
Literally and legally. Like, that's it. And you know what? I'm just going to put this out there again, not to get all political, but like, I think most people would probably vote for him if he ran. Like, if you did a mock poll, most people at some point in this country's time would have been like, yeah, I'd vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger for president because he got elected in fucking California. And boy, there's no universe where he'd get elected in California now.
That's true.
But there's a time and a place in this country's history where he did. And I think that speaks volumes about who he is, the appeal that he had to people, and the ability to cross the aisle. To really be like, action hero is a title that comes with a fair amount of weight and expectation. And I think
especially in the 80s and 90s.
And I think he lived up to it. Tom Cruise gets immediately discounted because he has not been a good bearer of like, he's a weird guy.
He's a couch jumper on Oprah.
I wasn't going to go there, but let those squirrels bust themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically your answer here is just because he is the unequivocal action star, and I totally get it. But the other thing that, is really important about the pop culture side is it is so hard to even put into words how much he affected all of this, because from film to film, from 1982 to 95, like we were saying.
Yeah, for a decade. Let's call it a decade.
There is, and it's crazy because it's even longer than a decade, but there was a genuine battle between him and Sly and Bruce Willis. And at that time,
Gettys of it all.
At that time, Sandro in the chat just brought up Jackie Chan. It was a huge time for Jackie Chan, but none of them could live up to the impact that worldwide Arnold Schwarzenegger had. And again, I have nothing against Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee. I think Bruce Lee has a, obviously career that ended far too young, but even Jackie Chan, it's very one-sided. It's very martial arts. He didn't have the range or the reach that Arnie did, unfortunately. Sivner, I said Planet Hollywood earlier.
You said Hard Rock Cafe, but I wasn't.
Oh, did I say the wrong thing? I meant Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, but we know what you meant.
I definitely said Hard Rock Cafe.
I know what you meant.
Now I'm realizing it. Yeah, Planet Hollywood was a huge thing. Obviously, when they go in and invest on this thing together, it was like a public, hey, we're banding together moment. And man, his overall impact on film itself, but also kids growing up and young people going to the movies and seeing things that they've never seen before in a film, and people inspired by Pumping Iron to get into shape throughout the decades. The amount that he has just impacted everyday people to do better, and he's still doing it. I mean, the stuff that he said on social media for the last 20 years has been things that get news coverage because of how much he's trying to bring people together rather than divide. And that alone is important to me.
It's almost like an immigrant couldn't be anti-immigration. Fucking weird, huh? It's almost like for someone who is as successful as he is, but yet as in touch with reality as he is, there's no disconnect there. Yeah. Because he realizes that if Arnold Schwarzenegger had stayed in Austria, Arnold Schwarzenegger nobody would care.
Yeah. And I mean, to that point specifically, like we're not talking about Hercules and all that stuff, but like the early 80s, let's be honest, he's not acting well here necessarily. He is just a physique, and that was his brand.
They gave him as much as he needed to do in Commando, and he did it.
Right. And then after 85, 86, like probably starting with like Predator, all of a sudden things start to change. It's not just the weird guy with the accent. He's actually able to act, and that's where he starts getting things.
Yeah, Hercules in New York, they dubbed him. Like, that doesn't count because they literally dubbed him. Like,
right. Nobody's saying the physicality is easy, Sibner. I'm just saying that the guy is not like showing acting range necessarily.
No, he's not.
He was being utilized for his physique. Literally.
And I'm not sure that he really has acting range. Like I want to say that one of the famous, like, I mean, like he has acting range, but like in as much as anyone who's being expected to have very little acting range to begin with has acting range. Like when you expect the bar to be set that low, like any amount of competency with acting, I feel like is astounding to some people. I remember a review for Jingle All the Way saying Schwarzenegger has the comedic timing of a dead moose. And I felt like that's very unfair because he's funny in that movie. I just think people expect Schwarzenegger to do one thing and sometimes he doesn't do that thing. And so people don't like it or it, it's like anything else. You aren't hewing to what people expect, and because you don't give people what they want, they feel cheated or they feel like they didn't get. Like Schwarzenegger doesn't have to always be the action guy.
Absolutely,
that's my thing. Like Steven Seagal, someone I do a podcast on, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme. It took them so long to stop taking themselves seriously. Schwarzenegger stopped taking himself serious from like day one, and that's probably why his success has been as bountiful and plentiful as it has been, because he's been willing to look at himself and go, they like me because my muscles, and they like me because I have stilted delivery on my dialogue. He's not an idiot. He got elected as a fucking politician. He's not stupid.
Which, like, if you want to find out exactly how, go listen to the audio commentary on Conan. And that will prove everything. That audio commentary is amazing.
He's not an idiot. And like he played everybody the right way, which is for him to play the idiot and people to underestimate him. Because once again, the guy got elected governor of California. And if not for the fact he legally couldn't be president, he would have been president.
Probably.
Think about 2008. John McCain, old John McCain running. Imagine if they were just like, we could run the governor that, and the tide hadn't turned yet. Governor Schwarzenegger could have been President Schwarzenegger, and baby, the Presidentator. Come on, just think of that world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you.
So anyways, our fourth question, which is the final question tonight, which we kind of already had this conversation, is what is like the relative person here to Arnold Schwarzenegger? So basically, what is a cinematic bridge to get to Arnold Schwarzenegger? If somebody is a fan of X, they would be a fan of Schwarzenegger. And this is where we kind of get to say, who's the closest thing to Schwarzenegger? We've had the conversation about Van Damme, about Jackie Chan, about Bruce Lee, about Sly, about Bruce Willis.
Some of those people we haven't mentioned until just now.
All of those that were just brought up in the last 3 minutes.
Jackie Chan has not been brought up until now.
I did bring him up, yes. Go ahead. Who is your answer for this? Who is the closest?
Is Sylvester Stallone the obvious answer?
He is the obvious answer. But is that only because of the era that he was in? Because
I don't know. Like, there's so much of like, again, Schwarzenegger's timing. Like, I hate the idea of Schwarzenegger had comedic timing of a dead moose. Like, Schwarzenegger's actually really funny. Like I have you not fucking seen all of his other movies where he's funny? Like, the comedic timing of a dead moose. Like, because what? Jingle All the Way is not necessarily the best movie. Like, Jingle All the Way is not a great movie, but yet it transcends what it is because it's a Christmas film. Yeah. And it has some relatability because it's a Christmas film that came out at the right time when Furbies were a thing. And Turbo Man was the Furby analog. And I don't know, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's probably Jackie Chan. And, the biggest missed opportunity is that Jackie Chan and Schwarzenegger never had that movie together, like Red Heat. They made Rush Hour instead, but it's Jackie Chan because it's like the immigrant made good who also, and again, like slightly problematic Jackie Chan, very pro CCP, which again, whatever, CCCP, excuse me. Praise be to our Chinese overlords. He's another immigrant made good, but again, like I think he fills in kind of, if you're to draw the action hero that is Schwarzenegger, he fills in the shading of like all the things that Schwarzenegger lacks, because what is Austrian action? It's just action. Like Jackie Chan brings in the like prowess and the technical physicality. Yeah, not gonna let that one go, are you? God, it's Jackie Chan. I mean, it is like direct analog. Sylvester Stallone's the easy option. And again, I've seen Rocky once. How many times I've seen Commando? I couldn't tell you. That's my point.
Well, I said damn you because, you took my answer. I think Jackie Chan is the one to go to here. And, I said earlier, Jackie Chan is kind of one note. And the only thing that he's got the fact that he did all of his own stunts. He's got the fact that he can direct too. That's kind of a big thing. He can sort of sing. Jackie Chan has made a lot of movies in a couple different styles, but it all really just comes down to it all has to be martial arts style action to make it make sense, because that's what he's great at. There's nothing wrong with that. However, Arnie just had the range, man. I mean, there's certain things like in Jingle All the Way, which is a good movie, he's not like doing the same thing that he did in Commando.
That's my point. Like his comedic stuff that he does, his stylings are all over the place. Like it's not like, again, like that dead moose comment. Like if you don't like Jingle All the Way, fine. But don't drag Schwarzenegger. Like, right. He's a funny guy. Like, go look at Commando or Total Recall. Like, what are you feeding this thing? Blondes? Like, this delivery is impeccable. And not just anybody could deliver those lines. That's the reality.
I do think that there is definitely a true argument to be made for Sly. The fact that he directed multiple great things. He is somebody that wrote. He is somebody
Sly
that
wants to be an actor, though. He's more like astute and effete, right? Like he's engaged
the things that he's owned. Process. He's great at it. I think that Sly has a lot more misses, for sure. At least that are.
But Schwarzenegger's never been nominated for an Oscar, and Sylvester Stallone has.
Oscar doesn't mean anything about this.
I know it doesn't for me and you, but there are plenty of people that do. The visibility of it alone.
Sibner is saying Willis is the real pick. I don't even think Willis is close here. I don't think.
I mean, again, it depends on what you want to. What are we using as the analog? Because Bruce Willis is an American action hero. Because he wasn't the one that you expected to be the action hero. That's the thing about Bruce Willis. People my age tend to forget the moonlighting of it all. No, but like Bruce Willis is an action hero now. There was a time where people were like, this guy, the moonlighting guy, action hero. Like for me, Bruce Willis is the consummate.
They were taking a chance on him.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is the consummate unexpected action hero. Like if you want to talk about the guy that you don't expect to be the action hero, it's Bruce Willis. You don't look at Bruce, like to use the wrestling analogy, and we've talked about wrestling so much tonight, Arnold is Hulk Hogan. Bruce Willis is Seth Rollins. Bruce Willis is, oh God. Bruce Willis is Jake the Snake Robert. Bruce Willis is Macho Man. He's like, Macho Man was a technically gifted wrestler who also knew how to be eminently engaging and entertaining. He had the physique, but he didn't have the massive physique at times that Hogan did. Schwarzenegger, he has the physique, but he can also be funny and engaging. There were plenty of guys that were massive, just like Hulk Hogan, that didn't have the charisma of Hulk Hogan. Bruce Willis, like, I don't know, Jackie Chan is the immediate analog, the obvious analog. That's probably more the thing that you could level against this is like, that's the obvious answer more than anything else.
No, I totally understand why Sly is the obvious answer here for a lot of people, because it was literally a direct competitor, the only one that was seen at the time to be close, that had, sort of comparable charisma, that had sort of a brand that they had built, that had sort of built things up with like Cobra that were, life-changing for a lot of people. He didn't transcend, other than Rocky, the way that Arnie did in many, many titles. And that's where I think that at this point, like, I'm not saying that, Stallone stuff never measures up to Schwarzenegger, but Arnie did it so many times over. It's hard to stand up against that.
You might not say it, but I will. I think if you compare Sylvester Stallone to Arnold Schwarzenegger, the obvious pick is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not even sure what metric you would use to put one over the other.
Just Oscars, I guess.
That's it. Like the critical reception. But like, again, the Gulliver's Travels of it all. Like, it's a lot harder to make people laugh than it is to like make people think and be serious. Like, making people laugh is hard. It's not easy. It's not. And like, to discount that, like, Schwarzenegger's comedic timing is impeccable. Terminator 2 has really funny moments. The Terminator has really funny moments. Most of Schwarzenegger's movies are kind of comedically, like, laced. And, there's nothing wrong with that.
So short point of order. We have spent very little time talking about how literally Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 Judgment Day are both nearly perfect films.
They are perfect
in
films.
two different genres that are masterpieces of cinema for so many different ways. The first movie is a pitch perfect, literally a slasher film. And the second movie is the exact like blueprint for action films for the rest of history. They are so well directed. They are so well acted. They're both great scripts. It is so crazy that, what is it, 7 years apart, 8 years apart, that Cameron was able to get these two pieces of exact lightning in a bottle that were connected to be this goddamn good. And they didn't get enough attention earlier tonight. I just want to say, just astonishing cinema.
Yeah, the original, talk about chasing the white dragon. I mean, they've been chasing Terminator 2 since that film came out. Like, the closest they came was effectively a stage play at Universal Studios that no longer exists at most of the parks.
Yeah.
Terminator 1 is... Terminator 1 is a perfect horror movie. Terminator 2 is how you make an action movie with sci-fi in it that doesn't get in the way and like doesn't alienate the audience in a way that like so many directors are like convinced sci-fi and genre film will alienate the audience. Like, it's two robots in that movie, but yet the fact that they're robots isn't really the important part of the movie. Like, it's grounded so much in like that human performance of Edward Furlong, who, like, if you want to give somebody an Oscar for like you're in one good thing for the most part. Like, again, I know Detroit Rock City, people get upset about Edward Furlong, but like, tell me something better.
American History X?
Oh, come on. But is he better in anything than he is in Terminator 2?
Oh, no, of course not.
Right. And like, that's like a pitch perfect performance by a child actor on top of everything else. Like, there's nothing better than watching Terminator 1, watching Terminator 2, and then not watching anything else. And you have to watch Terminator 2 with the ending that has like the actual ending, because there are versions of the movie that don't have actual endings. But you can watch the version of the movie that has nothing past it. And to your point, like, genre pivot, James Cameron involved in one of the best genre pivots ever, and then technically involved, to go back to the Ridley Scott of it all in Blade Runner, another perfect genre pivot with Alien and Aliens 2, or Aliens, I guess. Alien and Aliens, like, again, pivoting from action to horror or horror to action.
Yep.
And James Cameron does it both times.
It's a weird life.
I mean, good for him. And True Lies. I mean, he directed True Lies on top of everything else. And he refuses to direct anything other than the Avatar movies now. So there you go. Fine. Fine, James Cameron. Fine. I'm not the only one who's disappointed that that's all he's directing now, right? I can't be the only one.
I think most people are. Actually.
Okay, we're all just sitting here pretending like the Avatar films are good enough. But it's like, this guy directed Terminator 1, 2, and Aliens, like, and True Lies, which, even though it's like very anti-Islamic, like,
and Piranha 2. Wait.
I mean, again, like, and yet now it's just like we have to wait 12 years to get like a shitty Avatar movie that's 3.5 hours long. Come on, man. That stinks. He's a film visionary. He's an auteur. He's an auteur the way a lot of people aren't. Yeah, exactly. I was going to mention The Abyss. Like, a movie. Yeah, again, like, he's an auteur the way Peter Jackson is. Like, in that same weird class.
He uses AI to ruin his movies.
Also that. Like, you can't talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger without having a conversation, at least for a moment, about James Cameron. Because 3 of Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest things are James Cameron films.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you could even make the case that Terminator is the film that cements Arnold Schwarzenegger as who he is now. It's the ultimate face turn in cinema. Like, you could write papers about that scene in T2 where he's walking down the hallway and you see John Connor realize who's walking towards him, but yet he's like, get down. Like that, you could write papers about that scene because the subtext in that scene about getting to that moment, or then juxtaposing it against the scene in the psych ward with Sarah Connor, where it's like, come with me if you want to live. Like, there's so much going on that James Cameron just assumes you're on board with because you've seen the first movie. Like, directors don't do that anymore with film. Treat the audience like they're not idiots. Like, that's one of the things we, to bring it full circle, talk about with Marvel all the time, is assuming that their audience are morons. James Cameron never did that. Even now, I'm sure with that second Avatar movie, I'm sure there's plenty of like references to the first Avatar movie that just assume you've seen it and we're moving on. Like, I'm not going to go rent and check it out because I'm not super into those Avatar movies. But if I know anything about him, I've seen what he's done before. And I assume that James Cameron will continue to be James Cameron, probably to a fault.
Well said, even though this wasn't about James Cameron.
Again, it's hard to take Arnold Schwarzenegger away from James Cameron because you mentioned True Lies as like a foundational title. Like,
yeah,
that's a James Cameron movie. He directed it. I believe he wrote it as well. So,
hell of a career that Schwarzenegger had and kind of continues to have. Like, again, he's still a presence. He's still somebody that people have seen, look up to, and he still makes statements and all that stuff. He's just not out there acting every single day anymore.
Which is a shame. A shame, yeah. Really.
I would love to see what he would be able to do if he was trying to do, like, really trying.
He's playing Santa Claus.
Yeah.
In a new movie called The Man with the Bag, which stars Alan Ritchson, to go back to the Jack Reacher of it all. That's going to be fun. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Alan Ritchson opposite one another. I think that could be fun. It's not going to be any worse than Red One, which, as we all know, was essentially just a film that ChatGPT barfed out.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. Anything else on Schwarzenegger you want to throw out there?
I mean, we've talked about plenty of entry points. I don't think really most of his films you could go wrong with most of them. Like, he's consistent even when he's not great. His worst movies are still better than a lot of people's best.
Yeah.
He was a goddamn Batman villain at one point. And the Terminator shows up in many people's like best villains of all time list. And the Terminator shows up in people's best heroes of all time list, which is, I mean, like,
range right there.
Right. I mean, there are very few characters that show up on those lists, but I can think of plenty of movies acting roles, including the ones that are attributed to actors who rarely get mentioned in Schwarzenegger's caliber, like Anthony Hopkins. Schwarzenegger and Hopkins don't get compared to one another, but yet they are on the same list for actors who played both villainous and hero roles perfectly. Like, there are people that have only ever seen Silence of the Lambs, are like, Hannibal's a villain. But then you watch Red Dragon or the other things, it's like, well, is he really, like, or is Anthony Hopkins really playing a hell of a role? And like, there are very few actors that have that amount of range. And Schwarzenegger is one of them, which someone saying he has range is not something I feel like people say about Schwarzenegger.
I just want to throw out there, final thing, perfect genre pitch change from Terminator to Terminator 2. Same thing from Alien to Aliens. And then same thing from Happy Death Day to Happy Death Day to You.
And we're getting that third movie, baby, finally.
Hopefully it doesn't suck. Schwarzenegger, that was a hell of a film foundations to sort of ring the bell for a while for us. I am glad that we got to do this. Glad everybody got to hang out. Chris, tell everybody what you do on some other shows.
Everything I work on can be found over at weirdingwaymedia.com, where this show and the backlog of this show can be found. So all that, including the shows I don't work on, like ADCV Ladies, The Projection Booth, Twisted and Uncorked, a whole lot of things that I just am involved in, either as a producer or just as the space to host. Yeah. And patreon.com/culturecast is where you can go to kick a couple dollars our way and listen to some Patreon exclusive content like James Bond, which, if True Lies is something you've watched, maybe you want to check out our James Bond podcast, where all we do is talk about James Bond, which there are people that are into that. And if you're one of those people, you know where to go now to hear that content. So what about you, Ryan?
Same thing as always. You can go to someone'sfavoriteproductions.com to see the workings of our company, the titles that we're working on, the magazines that we're putting out, the people we're working with, all that same stuff. And here at Patreon for the Disconnected as well. Check out the link in the description below for more information on that. Chris, been a fun week. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We'll see y'all next Thursday, huh? Be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.